My girlfriend cheated on me with another woman and tried to blame me for it.
That's some backwards logic.
Okay, little backstory. I'm 22 and my girlfriend, we'll call her Jess, and I have been in a relationship for nearly 18 months. She's very attractive, and in all honesty, I couldn't say that I'm a lost cause, but I'm certainly dating out of my league. By the way, this comes from Jackson 2013-3, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation, so let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, anyway, last week we were at an exhibition function for our shared university course. It was a fairly normal evening up until I saw her talking to this girl from the other side of the hall. Nothing unusual, I just didn't recognize her. However, when they turned around, I noticed the mystery girl had her hands seriously low on my girlfriend's back. I didn't think much of it at the time, but they were completely inseparable for the entire evening. The next week or so, we were usually distant from each other. I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong before I went away. I was going to Bristol for the weekend, and I didn't want to leave things on bad terms before I left. But she was having none of it, just being really blunt and such. So I left for my parents, who were giving me a lift to Bristol. But when I got there, Mum said the old man was ill and we wouldn't be going, at least not today. So, already angry that she didn't tell me this over the phone, I drove back to ours in a foul mood, and that's when I caught her. The front door was off the latch for some reason, so I didn't need my key. I came in the door normally, but kind of stopped when I heard what sounded like Jess giggling. We live in a ground floor flat, so there are no floorboards to creak. As I got closer, I could hear someone, clearly a female, sounding quite breathy, like panting. Uh-oh. At this point, I thought Jess might have been having some alone time or something, so I was about to make myself known until I looked down and saw a pair of worn pink all-stars that I knew were not Jess's. At this point, confusion was starting to build. And as I turned the corner, our bedroom door was wide open and there was a girl from the gallery in my bed, and someone was beneath the covers. What the F is this? I believe was my first reaction. Gallery girl just stared at me, shocked. Yet as I called to Jess, something strange happened. Absolutely nothing at all. She just stayed under the covers and didn't move. For what felt like the longest time, I just stood there, open-mouthed, until I finally shook myself into action and started to leave. Next thing I know, she comes flying out of the door into the hallway of the block, wearing just a pair of knickers and a vest, for God's sake, trying to somehow make this out to be my fault.
What?
I literally didn't know what to say. She's freaking out, and all I could come up with was, "You're not wearing anything. Get back inside. We'll discuss this later." When I got back to the car, the belated rage began to set in. I was angry she cheated, angry she blamed it on me, and angry that I didn't say something else. Honestly, it's the most ridiculous, absurd scenario I've ever found myself in, and perhaps that's why that I wasn't so angry initially. But now I'm wondering what to do. I didn't know she was into girls. She never mentioned anything like that, and now she's cheated on me with one, and we're renting a flat together? Is this just her experimenting? Can we recover? Has anyone been in this situation before? I'm at my wit's end here, people. Okay, we do have an edit. I'm gonna read it really quick. I've just realized how insanely British this all is. So, lift equals ride, knickers equals panties, vest equals tank top, flat equals apartment. But we do have some relevant comments. Dave Azoisier says, experimenting or not, she cheated on you. Now, there's two things you can do. Try and patch it up or end the relationship. Skellum says, actually, based on his edit, it more sounds like she used him to hide her spicy proclivity. Opie says, yeah, to be honest, the more I learn about this, the more it sounds like she's way past experimenting. And Deleted says, I mean, she was with another girl. I might be able to believe this was an experimenting thing if it was the other way around, but most girls don't just go from 100% straight to doing that. They just don't. Regardless, it's still cheating. Opie says, honestly, it's this kind of thing that has been going around in my mind since it happened. She never let on a single hint that she was anything but straight until the moment that I found her between another girl's legs. Feels like the whole thing we had has just been a lie. Another comment says, can you go into a little more detail about her absurd reaction? You teased it in the title, but trying to make this out to be my fault didn't really deliver. It's like, you need to give the audience some more info there.
I also wanted that info, though.
I did too, yeah. Opie says, well, partly absurd because she was wearing basically nothing out in the hallway where strangers from other flats come and go, and she's historically quite a modest person. Worse, though, because she said something along the lines of, "You said you were leaving for Bristol," which absolutely flabbergasted me. Then the nail in the coffin was, "What, so I get all the blame for this?"
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? To which I had no appropriate response other than absolute fury, so I took the decision to calmly tell her to go back inside, and I left. And we do have an edit. I've read nearly all of these comments now, and honestly, you guys are pretty much spot on, I'm afraid. I can't go back to her and keep any shred of dignity, especially after I found Gallery Girl on her social media earlier and messaged her. She admitted it had been going on for a while and is desperate for me not to tell anyone. As much as it would be a crappy move, I'm seriously considering outing them both.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You would revert back at that point to also being an a-hole.
Yeah, exactly.
As-
if they were both like already out, then like sure you could tell
Sure.
people that they cheated, but
You
that doesn't add a
never out
complicated-
somebody. That could be a potentially dangerous situation for
That's
them.
true. Yeah. Knowing her friends, the last thing Jess would want is for them to think that she's into girls. I know it's petty, but I'm just so mad right now. And we do have an update. Do we think he's gonna out them or not?
He better not.
Yeah.
Because right now, OP, you have not been the a-hole for
Right.
anything.
Right.
If you do this, you become one in your own way.
Yeah, you're about to lose all your complaining rights.
Yeah. She's crappy still, but doing this won't make her uncrappy. It will
Totally.
just make you also crappy.
Totally. But we do have an update 2 days later. I had a lot of back and forth texts with the ex. She's stopped saying she's sorry, instead trying to say that I didn't see what I thought I saw, which is hilarious. Here's the best part. She told one of our mutual friends, a girl, that we had split up because she had a guy around, and I hit the roof and overreacted. I wasn't going to divulge the full story to anyone, but after I heard she had said that, I told this mutual friend the whole story. Mutual friend didn't believe me, so I showed her the messages between me and the gallery girl. Now her friends at least know that she's a cheat and a liar. Also, I told the landlord I'd like to take myself off the lease because this has happened and he's looking into it. Hopefully that can be resolved in the next week or so. I've also been getting spammed with texts from Jess today saying that I'm heartless and I've ruined her life. Oh, the irony. And there are some final comments. Deleted says in response to OP divulging the whole story, "You're right, suspected once you start lying like she did, all bets are off. She compounded an already terrible situation. I don't think she thought things through." And OP responds, "Yeah, I tried to explain this to her over text. This is completely all her own doing. She at first claimed that I didn't see what I know I saw. Then she tried to explain that people might think that I'm making it up, clearly not realizing I'd spoken to Gallery Girl over social media. I showed her the proof, but said that I wouldn't out her if she was honest about it all with our friends. She wasn't honest, so I told them. I really don't know what she thought would happen here." Another commenter says, "I can't help but wonder, do you just have to take a moment and wonder what kind of person you were dating? She just sounds so dumb."
Yeah, for real.
And Opie says, "Honestly, I know I've painted a picture of an incredibly stupid girl, but that's what makes her actions here all the more shocking to me, because she really isn't that dumb. I have to believe that her getting caught in a seriously compromising position is what has led her to act so stupidly, because I have found myself completely dumbfounded at some of the stuff that she has done or said since I caught the two of them." So this is what the ex told the friends exactly. I think her implication to the mutual friend was that there was just a guy at our house and no funny business was going on, like there actually was with the girl. And that's the end of that story. Okay. I told my girlfriend to be quiet in a museum because she's being too loud.
Girlfriends tend to do that.
I, 25 male, was invited to go on vacation for a week with my girlfriend, 22 female, and her family, father, mother, brother, and his fiance. I don't know exactly what her dad's issues are, but he's obviously gotten some sort of intellectual disability. By the way, this comes from technical message 8716, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all of the answers. We're just gonna guess what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, "During our vacation, we've stopped at a few museums and historical sites. Every single time my girlfriend wants her dad to walk in with us. At first I was fine with it, but then I realized that he can't read. At every stop, my girlfriend is narrating everything for her dad. He's half deaf too, so she's either leaned right in close to him or speaking loudly so he can hear. Not only can he not read or hear, he hardly understands what is being read to him, so my girlfriend has to repeat half of it in simpler terms for him to get. I'm a fast reader, so I'll be ahead of them, but hearing my girlfriend yell out what I just read 3 minutes ago, followed by her dad saying, "What's that mean?" and her spending another 10 minutes explaining what she literally just read and him still not getting it. This is why museums with narrated tours give them through headsets. I'm sure it disrupts other visitors as well, which is why when we stopped today, I asked her not to narrate everything. She said that she had to for her dad. I suggested that he'd get just as much out of looking at the artifacts and pictures since he doesn't understand half of what's going on anyway. Then she says, "That's not true. He loves learning. He especially enjoys historical facts." Like, come on now. He has to be constantly reminded if a museum is interactive or not because he will try to touch anything and everything. That's his mental functioning level. I told her it's disrespectful and kind of obnoxious to the other visitors for her to be talking out loud constantly while people are trying to absorb what they're reading. After a bit of back and forth, she told me that I could walk way ahead of them so I don't get distracted, but she was going to read to her dad. Then at lunch, I thought she was past it since everyone seemed to be in a good mood, but when we sat down to eat, she made a jab that no one should talk so I don't get too distracted while I eat. She's still pissed, obviously, and now so am I. That felt totally out of line. Am I the a-hole? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're
totally
very
are.
much the a-hole. I don't think anyone enjoying a museum is going to be upset that someone who may not be at the same intellectual, ability as them
Yeah.
needs to hear something a few times more.
Yeah, I think like I can understand if people are like, "Oh, why is this person like saying this so loud? That's a little weird." But then they turn around and they learn what's happening because it's obvious and then they're forgiving about it. Then it's fine. Because like you're really this is just ableist at this point. You're just straight up like not accepting someone's disabilities because you're embarrassed to be around them. Like listen to how that sounds. Please.
You're the a-hole.
Totally. There are some relevant comments. Allergy Mom says, "You're the a-hole. Ableist much?" What would have been a reasonable question to ask is, "Hey, the museum offers headsets and audio accessible aids. Would that help all of us enjoy the museum together?" Parents age. Parents need support when enjoying family time. It's cool and all that you enjoy your speed reading and rushing along, but this was a family vacation for her family. And you treated her father like an inconvenience on their family trip that you were invited to join? Anyone of any ability deserves to enjoy learning and exploring museums at their own pace. Most museums have special aids to support people with different abilities. Most museums aren't silent as the tomb nowadays. Art museums still have that feel, but most history and other museums are much more interactive and inclusive. I doubt your relationship will survive how callously you treated her father. OP says, "I never said this in front of her dad, obviously. I said it in a private conversation with her, letting her know that it may be seen as disruptive and she should be respectful of everyone." Then she brought it to the attention of her family with that jab at lunch. By the way, I really struggle with distractions when reading due to ADHD. I didn't say this to her, but technically her accommodating her dad the way she was does the opposite for me, who also has a disability. And that could be the same for others. A deleted commenter says, "Do you think insulting her dad was respectful?" OP says, "How did I insult him? I never said anything to him about it, and it's not like I said he was an idiot. I just suggested that since he doesn't understand it, it would be better to just let him enjoy looking so it doesn't disrupt the whole museum." Impossible Reason 2204 says, "Being ableist only in front of your girlfriend and not her dad isn't the flex you think it is." OP says, "If that's ableist, how is it not also ableist for her to bring attention to my ADHD struggles with her little jab at lunch? Oh, don't talk while OP is eating. He might get you distracted." On that same topic, if what I said was so offensive, why bring it up around her family at all? If her dad is to be hurt by it, it's because she brought him into it with that. Maybe she's not the saint everyone here seems to assume. Langstar says, "Why are you dating her if you don't like her?" Opie says, "I do like her. I'm just confused at all the comments acting like she was an entirely innocent and passive party in this disagreement. Like if her dad was hurt by what I said, there's only one person the rest of her family could have heard it from, and it wasn't me. Her jab at dinner makes it more likely that he'd be hurt. If she was being nothing but kind and considerate, why make a comment in front of her family that raises suspicions on something having been said? That's not very kind of her. He's literally saying, well, she's not innocent because she told people, she relayed the message that I said. It is not kind of her to tell other people about the unkind words I said. I was gonna just leave it and say it behind his back, but no.
This dude definitely has a punchable face.
I would have to agree with you. But you can hear more full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. There is more to the story. We've got an update here.
We do. Guys, Angie and I are on a little date.
A little work date.
Yeah, we got donuts and we're hanging out.
We sure are. We can cheers the donuts after this story. How about that?
Angie was sad. She's like, when will we be able to eat the donuts?
I was like, how's this gonna work? But
I was like, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It's okay. We're getting there.
But P, I want to talk to your girlfriend. OP's girlfriend. Please break up with this guy. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, dude.
You don't get it. Okay. You're an idiot because not only are you trying, you're just not trying to understand the situation whatsoever.
No, not at all.
And you're making this crazy disability Olympic game out of nowhere. And then and you know what else he's doing? He's kind of blaming his girlfriend on this.
He totally is. Because he's like focusing on the fact in the stretch that like she is possibly not innocent in this situation. And like with him saying that in itself is like he said, how are people not seeing how she's not totally innocent in this situation? Which kind of implies that she's not the guilty party, that you are also to blame a little bit, at least. But then you're not taking any accountability for that, and you're only focusing on, like, what you think she did was wrong. Like, you were just I think you are a bad person. I think we have a bad person on our hands. You should take all of this personally. Change yourself, you bad person. We have an update. Everyone can stop commenting now. I get it. I'm the biggest butt of all time. I may as well be the devil for having a private conversation with my girlfriend that she made public, so what's that make her? I admit I could have worded it better. I didn't mean to be offensive. I was trying to find a solution so that everyone could enjoy the museums. But apparently, that's a big effing no-no in a relationship. Thought they were about compromise and working through issues, but obviously not. You all be real effing happy to hear my girlfriend broke up with me, so you can all stop with the I hope she dumps your butt. Congrats, you got your effing wish. Years together down the drain over one incident. One stupid comment. Is that how fragile relationships are now? Are you all happy with that reality? This guy sucks even more.
It was over one comment that had so many layers attached to it.
Yes.
That you will not ever be able to comprehend.
That, like, is really, like, this is kind of a stretch, but it's okay, this is really a stretch. These two things are on very different levels, but it's like the excuse where it's like, well, he hit me once, so now I have to leave him forever. And it's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you made this, again, the very different levels. But like, oh, I made this one comment and now all of these years are down the drain. Yes, because that one comment was just that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even just that one comment. It was everything that you were trying to do to back up your opinion.
I lied about why I dumped my girlfriend because I know people are mocking me.
Breakups suck, dude.
So basically, my girlfriend, 23 female, and I, 21 male, have been together since last March. We go to different universities but live in the same city. Both of us live off campus outside the city in the same apartment building, which is where we happened to meet by chance. She was in her last year of undergrad before her 2 years of grad school. She is currently in when we met. By the way, this comes from JustChicken373, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, so this is a bit embarrassing, but I was a virgin until I met her. That's not embarrassing.
That's not embarrassing
You're
at
literally
all.
21 right now. So you were like a virgin when you were 20? That's not embarrassing.
No.
And she is the only woman I have ever been with. Again, you're literally 21 years old. You're good.
Chill, bro. You're doing all right.
I am madly in love with her. She was patient and everything. I know she wasn't a virgin when she met me, and I'm aware she's had a couple of relationships, but I never bothered asking. She told me that she's been with a few people on her own and volunteered that information. Anyway, a month ago during winter break, we both worked and stayed on campus. I went to her campus to the lab she works at for the first time to surprise her because she texted me she got a grant proposal approved, and I got a reservation at a nicer place. I went to pick her up and surprise her. Anyway, we walked by and a lot of guys approached her and she was friendly with them, but was rushing interactions like she wanted to get out of there. Then a group of dudes walked past and giggled at her and me and said hi to her, and she seemed a bit embarrassed. I took her away from there and we had a nice dinner, but I wanted to know about why those guys embarrassed her. So full disclosure, I wanted to look into these guys. She has never let me on her campus or meet her friends. I thought she was maybe being bullied, and I kind of relate to that since I was bullied in high school myself and didn't have many friends. My mind didn't even go anywhere else. She's a little bit nerdy and geeky, and I loved that about her. But those aren't exactly popular, as we know. I asked my friends on campus and acquaintances I knew in her school from shared clubs I was in if she was being bullied and explained what happened. But it wasn't that. To put it lightly, she has a history. Like a very colorful history. So, as long as it wasn't during your guys' relationship.
Yeah, not that that really matters at all.
Yeah.
If it's history, because it's in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys were members of her school's basketball team who had been with her at the same time, amongst other things. And she is kind of known around her campus for this. I even saw Yik Yak stuff making fun of me for being unaware. They used her name, but called me innocent, unaware, and made fun of me. To be clear, she is being bullied.
Yes, that's horrible.
Yeah, this is harassment for her history. Notice how none of the guys are having any flack towards them.
Yes.
I brought it up with her right away as soon as I got to know, a couple days after our dinner, and she cried and confessed everything. She said she's changed and didn't want me to judge based on that. I said of course I wouldn't and let it go. But things were not the same. It was eating away at me, and there were more group chat messages from people in her school and people I know making fun of me for not knowing. And so on. He wiped up the first girl that gave him attention and things like that. But you don't even go to this school.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's hard to move schools, but
Yeah.
I feel like you can report this, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
this is not blackmail, but you can't be airing people's
No.
stuff out like that.
Definitely. And also, if these are student athletes, I feel like there could be more consequence against them.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes there's more standards, or sometimes there's also less standards. But I would definitely talk to her and say, hey, this is not okay behavior that they're doing. And try not to take any of this personally because you don't go to this school. It doesn't really affect you.
Not at all.
It affects her every day. So try and view it from that perspective of I'm not the one who's getting bullied for, my spicy history.
Yeah.
I tried my best not to let it get to me, but it did. So we had a talk a week ago and broke up, and she was devastated. I blamed it on being busy at school. My final semester is coming up, and I said I wanted to lock in. She thinks I'm lying about that.
Because you
I
are.
am.
You
No,
just
she
said
says I
you
am.
were.
Yeah. She thinks I'm lying because I am. Yeah. And it's because of the situation. She is right. I insisted that was not the case. She was really angry and then calm and then cried, and it was a whole thing, and it still is a thing. She still messages me, and I leave her unread and tell her she deserves someone who is able to commit proper time to a relationship. I actually just blocked her earlier today, and it was difficult. So am I the a-hole? The way I see it, she can't change her past, so it would be unfair of me to add to her feeling self-conscious about it. But I really can't do it anymore. I haven't even been able to look at her. I feel so self-conscious. Everyone views me as a gosh dang joke, and it's not her fault, but I can't do it, man. Who views you as a joke? People on Yik Yak? What the heck is Yik Yak?
Was that? I
It's like an
vaguely
old
remember it.
social media platform. I remember Yak Yak.
Yeah, I vaguely remember in college. I never used it,
Never used it.
but it's just why are you letting what other people think
Yeah.
about you in a situation you have no part in,
You
really.
don't even go to that school.
Yeah, why are you letting that dictate your life and relationships?
Yeah.
Maybe this is just 21-year-old
I hope he
naivete
learns.
and wanting to be liked like you were in high school. Like, that doesn't matter in the real world.
It doesn't matter.
No one needs to like you.
There's a little bit more. After this breakup went public on our social media, chatter about me has gone down, and people don't look at me anymore. I finally feel peace again. I miss her, but I also don't want to be known for this. So am I the a-hole for not breaking up with her, but for lying about it, you're the a-hole for both.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was sparing her feelings, but some of my friends told me I should have been honest. And there is an update, so we're going to get into it, but yeah, you're the a-hole.
You're the a-hole right now, dude.
3 days later. So a lot happened, but to get the good news out of the way, she and I are back together.
How did you swing this one, OP?
Whiplash. And I will never ever let what other people say or do get into my head again. Well, okay.
Okay.
When I posted my first post, we had already spent like 8 to 9 days officially broken up, and it sucked coming home to an empty apartment because we live in the same building, and she has my spare key and would always come over whenever. So to be honest, I think I was looking for someone to validate that I'm not a lesser man for going back to her, because these a-holes got into my head. So basically, thank you to everyone who talked some sense into me, and to those of you that DM'd me especially. I know her better than anyone, and I did fail her here. I did want to stop her from being bullied, but the second people said stuff about me, I chickened out. I wasn't a good boyfriend for her. So basically, even before my post, I was talking to her friend to check up on her, and after my post, I was still talking to her. She is our mutual friend and tried to be neutral, but a few hours after my post, unrelated, she called me and said she thinks I made a mistake. I am her first and longest relationship, and she made me understand just because people said something or she had been with others doesn't mean anything. In the grand scheme of things, I win because I get to build a life with her. It's crazy that she had to go and convince you to date her again.
Yeah.
Like, she is right, but it's crazy that it took her basically debating you into dating her again.
It's like she had to come be like, hey, you're being an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's like,
props to her.
yeah, props to her for being a good friend. But also, yeah, you have some growing to do.
Mm-hmm. So over the last 2 days, it's been me mostly apologizing to her. She was angry at first, and reasonably so, but I never told her people were saying stuff about me. So I told her people were saying stuff about me, and showed her the screenshots, and she began to cry and thought we would be better off not together. And a bit embarrassing to say, I kind of cried too. It's not embarrassing, OP. You are like so caught up in this male image of what you need to be or need to look like. Please. It's okay to cry. It's okay to show emotion. And we had a sappy, we will face the world together. And as long as we're together, no one can defeat us moment. Yeah, cringe. But it actually made me feel better. It's not
Bro.
cringe.
Not cringe.
I should have just told her what people were saying and how it bothered me from the beginning, and clarified it wasn't her history, but what people said. We also had a cheesy and corny and sappy discussion about how we would leave this godforsaken town behind once she's done with grad school. And I had a stable job, and F these people, except our friends. We don't have to deal with their BS any longer. We decided not to count this 2-week breakup as a breakup. Her mom and my parents are ultra-religious conservatives, different religions, but we're both atheist and agnostic. And they don't know about us and would never approve of us being together. That is a hurdle we need to cross one day, and we decided this was practice for that. And relatively, we handled our first relationship obstacle well, though there is a lot of space for improvement. I mean, you did break up with her, but
Yeah.
sure. Will what people say stop bothering me? Hopefully I'll be desensitized to it over time. We posted a picture back together, and the screenshots from my friends rolled in again. I told them to stop sending them to me at this point. I get it. I am our campus's Will Smith, lol. But F, I have her with me now, and I can talk to her about it at any time. Your friends are sending this?
Also, the Will Smith thing is different.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't cheat on you.
She didn't cheat on you. She had previous partners. I hate that. Your friends are sending you screenshots? I would stop being friends with anyone who was sending me screenshots joking about my girlfriend and her history.
Yeah, that's completely disrespectful to
So
your
disrespectful.
girlfriend, which your
Yeah.
friends need to respect if they're your girlfriend.
Absolutely. So we both don't have work or class tomorrow, and she has a deadline she needs to pull an all-nighter for. There's the big winter storm this weekend. I'm sure my Americans know what I'm talking about. So I went ahead and picked up groceries, hot chocolate, and all the essentials today. My work, classes, and her work and classes. Also preemptively canceled for Monday and Tuesday too. She's gonna come over once she's done with her paper, and we decided we're going to spend the long weekend snowed in at my place. I love that. By the way, you can spend the long weekend. It actually is a long weekend this weekend, but it might not be when you see this post. Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
You came around, OP.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as you learn and as this relationship grows, you start to have a little bit of that screw what other people think. I'm going to live
Hopefully.
my life with my person the way we want to. Be true to yourself.
Yeah, please.
And yeah, those people, they're spending time thinking about you. You don't need to spend time thinking about them.
Excellent. Excellently worded.
Mm-hmm.
No notes. Thank you, everyone, commenters and DMers, and a special shout out to our mutual friend who spoke sense into me and validated me and stopped me from throwing away my one shot at happiness. I don't mean to be cheesy, but I really can't believe I was about to throw away someone who genuinely cares for me, and so on, over this. Even though we were broken up, I got campus interviews 2 weeks from now, and she still bought me a tie and was gonna give it to a mutual friend to give it to me. Ugh, she's so nice. Not only is she my girlfriend, she really is one of the few people that actually wants me to succeed and cares about me unconditionally. And to think I was about to throw it all away over what a bunch of bitter single people were saying, LOL. Thank you. Comment 1 says, guys get judged for not having spicy sleep. Girls get judged for having spicy sleep. Tale as old as time. Really glad everything worked out for you both. Pay no mind to the vultures at your respective schools. They're still mentally stuck in high school. Reply says, if men need to get experience but women need to stay virgins, who are men getting experience with? Sun Tzu, I think. And that is the end of the story.
My girlfriend wanted me to take my deceased wife's pictures off the wall.
That's kind of a bad vibe I'm picking up.
Backstory is I, now 35 male, married my wife when I was 24 years old. She was diagnosed with stomach cancer when I was 29 and she was 31, and it was a life-changing experience for me. About 6 months before that diagnosis, we were considering divorce, but after she was diagnosed, things took a rapid 180. We forgot all about the divorce, we tried to enjoy each other's company, and the more and more sick she got, the more and more I did for her. By the way, this comes from Jealous Girlfriend's Boyfriend, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie,
I'm Dakota.
and we're here to give you good advice in as goofy way as possible.
Yeah, but this story sounds really... My heartstrings are being played.
It's gonna be a tough one. But we don't have all the answers though, so if you do, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please.
But OP says, some things I did were things that I never thought I could do, like changing her bedpan and dirty sheets and keeping her at home for her to pass here peacefully.
This is a movie plot. This is a movie plot.
And it's a very sad movie. Get the tissues ready.
It is sad, but kind of happy, but sad.
It changed me as a human being, and as much as I hate the experience, I know that it turned me into a better person. I have become much more kind and patient since all of these things happened. I stopped being completely shallow, and if I am being perfectly honest, even my views on women changed because I wasn't a good man back then and was emotionally very immature and selfish. I still am not perfect, but I do believe I treat people better than I ever did before, and I don't know why it took something that drastic to make me become a better person, but it did.
I feel like all of the people who needed drastic things to happen to them to become better people also don't know why they needed that. But it seems
Yeah.
like they do need it.
Right. It's like you only really know in hindsight for that kind of stuff. Everything after she passed was a blur, and I suffered miserably remembering some of the awful things that I did and said to her. It was a typical grief process, which I managed to find my way through, even if I do still have some regrets, and I do think about her a lot. So skipping forward to about 9 months ago, a lady, 32 female, I used to work with started helping me with my son for a few hours a week. You have a son too? Oh, oh man.
My heart. My heart.
She needed some extra money and knew I was a single dad, and she knew what happened with my wife because we worked together while all of these things happened. I think she had intended to pursue me very soon afterwards, and I wasn't totally reluctant because I did start to develop feelings for her too. And we eased into a relationship which was very comfortable for me. I have been nicer to her than I ever was with my wife, and a few months after she started helping me with my son, we decided we'd like to be more than just friends. I was completely okay with this, but was always really honest about my feelings for my wife and the fact that I don't think I'll ever want to remove her from my life or my son's life. We moved in together about a month ago, and she moved into my house. This house that my wife and I shared long before she ever came into the picture. My girlfriend has been wonderful to my son, and she has been patient with me too. She's the first woman I've slept with since my wife passed away, and the first woman I've wanted to be in a relationship with. And as a single father, I don't really have the energy or desire to date around. She's truly the only woman who has interested me enough to want to be in a relationship with her.
But that sounds like we don't know, though, because you just said, I don't even have the energy to date around.
Right.
And it sounds like you might have found yourself a woman who just wants to replace everything about your previous life with her.
It appears that way, at least from the title. A few days ago, I came home and the pictures of my wife that were on the mantle were not on it anymore, and I asked her why she took them down. She said she brought some new art that she wanted to put there, and I told her it wasn't okay. She got really upset with me and told me that I needed to get out of this funk and that it's been so long. And since I was planning on divorcing my wife anyway, it isn't like there was anything to grasp onto anymore. Hello?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm coming back from that conversation, Chief. Oh,
That's
brother.
something that you can't really just like move on from.
Yeah, I gotta sit on my hands after that, for sure. I gotta sit on my hands. I gotta roll up into a ball and sit on my hands.
Yeah.
So you gotta get out of here.
You
Baby, I'm a
gotta-
cannonball right now. You gotta get out of here.
Kaboom. You really can't. Then she said it bothered her that she moved into my house and that I won't let her decorate or change it around at all. And that's not really true. I just haven't gotten around to thinking about completely changing my house around for her. I don't know what advice I'm seeking. I guess I just want to know if it's really that inappropriate to have pictures of my wife up when I have a new girlfriend. This is a first for me, and I haven't lived with anyone else or known how it works. The pictures are all over the house in the living room. There are some on the refrigerator. There's one in the dining room from our wedding day. My son has them in his room, and I had some in my room, but I put them away in a drawer after that because I can understand how it might be strange for her to have a spicy sleep in front of those pictures. I don't want to use my son as an excuse for holding on to my wife, but I do think that we should keep the pictures up for him too. And she understands that, but says that we could just keep them in his room. This is tough. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But I also do think there does come a time where you probably should start moving those into like the box where you then open up the box and you go, oh, this is my
reminisce.
wife box.
I could see that.
But I don't think you're there yet. And
Yeah.
y'all aren't getting married or anything. So I
Right.
don't think it's the time for her to be like,
Yeah.
like,
Right. Yeah, I think for the son for sure, because we don't really know exactly how old the son is. But I mean, young enough, whatever it is, it's young enough to at least be able to have pictures of your wife around the house. Because I feel like if you say that you can only keep those pictures in his room if he wants them up, then it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that would be almost isolating for the kid to feel like maybe I need to kind of keep my grief to myself too.
Who knows what it could do? It could
Yeah.
also make the kid think like, oh, my dad never liked my mom because he took all the
Yeah.
pictures down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know why they were getting divorced. Maybe they were getting divorced because he did something terrible. Like he said, he wasn't a good partner.
True. That's
So who
true.
knows? But I don't know if this relationship for me would ever bounce back from that comment about like, you were getting divorced anyway, so there's nothing to hold on to. I'd be like, wow,
Yeah, that's crazy.
You need to get out of my house.
You just don't understand anything at all. That's insane. I'm not sure if I'm out of line telling her no effing way will I take the pictures down, because there will always be a part of me that loves my wife. I didn't word it like that to her, but it feels like a silly thing to argue over, and I don't want to continue arguing over it. I'm not trying to be insensitive to her feelings, but I think she's taking it too far by taking them down herself. And we do have an update from the next day.
100% she is going too far, taking it down herself.
Yeah, without even asking you about it.
Especially because she also already knows, you've already had the conversation of like, yeah, this is my wife's house and I love my wife and I'm not, just going to put it all in a box somewhere right now.
Yeah.
You told her that already.
Exactly.
Maybe you should start putting different pictures up. Like, but
like,
not
oh,
of like your wife or of it. Just start putting pictures of like Mr. Rogers.
Oh, okay. And then
Yeah.
what?
I don't know.
Just like see what she thinks.
Just throwing her off, you know?
just to add something in there.
Yeah, put up
Confuse her a little
put
bit.
up a bunch of pictures of like iconic children's TV hosts,
Sure.
and then she'll be like, "Well, we need to take these down."
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
go, "That's right, babe. You got it. You can take those off the wall all day long."
Right. And then you put back the pictures of the wife. And then you're
Right.
like, it doesn't seem so bad now, huh?
Now she's had the control to take off the pictures of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I had a 15-foot by 12-foot mural of Mr. Rogers up.
Oh.
You took that one down. That was a big move.
Yeah, that's totally a big move. Big move to have it there in the first place.
Just something to think about.
Yes. But we do have an update from the next day. I'm going to try and keep this short. Last night really didn't go well at all for any parties involved.
You didn't use the Mr. Rogers picture.
Come on. My girlfriend got back and was very hostile towards me after I asked her countless times what she did with the pictures. She interrogated me as to why I have the pictures in the first place and accused me of pleasuring myself.
Of jorping it to those pictures, which
Oh
is
my gosh.
crazy. This relationship is over.
Yeah. Which is seriously the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. She said I'm being insensitive to her needs. I'm not meeting her needs. I treat her just as bad as I did my wife, and that the pictures need to come down because she's not comfortable with the fact that I do it to them. No, I wouldn't do it to the pictures on the mantle. I do have some intimate photos of my wife stored away in my safe, but I haven't touched them in years. The ones on the mantle are not something I've ever considered doing that to. I tried to compromise and offered her even another wall in the house if she would just put the pictures back, and then offered to keep them in my safe where she doesn't have to look at them, which I wouldn't have really done most likely, but I wanted to see if she'd tell me where they were if I offered that.
So she's taken them down and hidden them from you.
Yeah, he doesn't even know where they are. And she's all, oh, well, why do you even want those in the first place?
Wow, yeah. I am very calmly being like, you
Yeah.
can get whatever you want. Where are they? I'll put them in the safe. Just,
Yeah,
give me those,
right.
and then you can have whatever you want. And as soon as I have them back, you are locked out of the house, girlie.
Done. And if she doesn't do that, like, honestly, I feel like you would need to just be like, okay, well, I'm going to call the cops because you're stealing from me.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if it gets down to it, I feel like there's nothing else that could get it back
we
if
need
this doesn't work.
police intervention.
Literally, which is crazy. Crazy. I've always been extremely honest about my feelings towards my wife and the fact that she will never leave my life. That when I married her, I vowed to love her forever, including in passing, and she needs to accept it or get out. I offered to buy her a hotel room for the night because I needed time to myself, which she flipped out about, and then said that she was going to her friend's house. She texted me throughout the night telling me about what an awful human being I am. So after she went to her friend's house, I invited over my sister's wife, who I haven't talked too much lately because my girlfriend has been jealous of her in the past, and I didn't want to cause issues, so I backed off. Okay, so your girlfriend has been jealous of your sister's wife? She could be bi, but what if she's not?
I mean, honestly, dog, I remember you said earlier that you're like, this is the only person I found myself interested in,
Yeah.
and I don't have the energy to date anyone else. I think you'd have a lot more energy if you didn't date a giant red flag.
Yeah, I think so. Is the reason we didn't have much interest or only a little bit of interest just because she was like,
Nah, you know what?
totally forgot where I was
You
going
know
with
what it
that.
was? It was the kid.
You
He
thi-
saw,
Oh.
yeah, it was her helping him with his kid and
You
him seeing
think-
her with his kid that made him
Yeah.
go, oh, maybe this could work. I bet you that's what it was.
Dang. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but it turns out this girl's not easy to date. She is toxic. Call Britney Spears because this girl's toxic. Yep. She needs to get back in that music video.
Yep. My wife's sister is very special to both my son and I. There has never been anything romantic between us, and we've been platonic friends for a long time. And if anything, I view her as my own sister. When I was married, we didn't like each other at all because she was my wife's best friend, and they talked about everything, including our marital issues. After my wife passed away, however, she and I became best friends, and I have no shame in this. She is a great role model to my son. My son loves her, and in ways, it's like the two of them combined are this piece of my wife that I miss so much. So sad.
But beautiful.
She looks a lot like my wife, so yes, she is very beautiful, which I think is part of why my girlfriend became jealous and part of why I understood why she didn't want us to have a close relationship. So I listened to her and I still talk to her enough just to keep her in my son's life. But we stopped watching movies together or getting dinner or playing video games or doing any of the things that friends usually do together. So when she came over, we decided to have a bottle of wine, turn on a movie, and basically do what we always did in the past. We talked about my wife and what she'd be like now, and what she'd think of all the cell phone cameras since my wife loved photography, what she'd think of my girlfriend had we gone through the divorce and she was alive, and what kind of mother she'd be to our son, and what she'd think about his interest in robotics. That's so sweet. And you have to give that up because your girlfriend thinks that you're gonna boink your sister's wife? That's insane.
It's just a really absurd level of like, I mean, has that happened before? Sure.
Sure.
But like, just the blanket insecurity I'm getting from your girlfriend is insane.
Yeah. And I'm wondering too, like, if there's context that we're missing on like why OP said he was not a great guy. Like, did he cheat on his wife?
Yeah,
maybe?
we are missing the context, but he has been very clear. Like, I was not a great guy until she got sick, and then I really 180'd.
Right. So, like, you know, even if there was some sort of context of like, well, you've cheated on your partner before, now I'm worried that you would do it to me. I still like this would not be you got to control your thoughts at that point when it's like, okay, yeah, but he has this different and complicated relationship with this woman. And it's not romantic at all. Like, you gotta take a step back and understand.
I mean, even with the sister's one thing, but it's like you're never gonna erase like what he felt about his wife.
Yeah.
His wife has passed away. His wife's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like you're never gonna be able to like win against his wife because it's he's always gonna have that. Even if you take away every picture,
right?
Like he's still gonna be like, yeah, I remember I loved my wife and I miss her.
Right.
So if you can't deal with that, you can't be in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about giving him one of her old cameras. Then inevitably, we talked about my girlfriend, and she did bring up a lot of great points that I was truly just blinded to. We came to the conclusion together that my girlfriend was being manipulative with the tactics that she used to move in with me, that hiding the pictures should always be a deal breaker, and that her isolating me from my wife's family may have been emotional abuse. Just a lot of things I hadn't really considered before. My now ex-girlfriend, hey, okay. Came home around 5 a.m. My wife's sister slept in my son's room with him, where she always sleeps because we had been drinking the night before and it wouldn't be appropriate for her to drive. So my girlfriend literally flips the F out about my wife's sister's car being out front.
Also, just fun that this person is so uptight about this, they would definitely cheat on you.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is the girl who would also cheat on you in a heartbeat.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
and then like cry and wail that it's like a misunderstanding and you don't.
Right.
Oh no, that's not what it looks like.
Right. But then if you actually cheated on her, then it's like a big problem.
Yeah.
She started telling my wife's sister that she's a slut and that she knew I'd be cheating on her the second she walked out the door. I know it looks bad, but for F's sake, my wife's sister is practically a sister to me and is also my son's aunt, and I'm not completely unethical. To me, it would be no different than having my own sister spend the night. And at this point, I was considering breaking up with her anyway, so it didn't really matter to me what she thought of the situation. Finally, my wife's sister went off on my girlfriend, and my girlfriend got crazy and told me that I need to choose right now between my wife's sister and her.
That's hypersonically.
Yeah.
I choose my wife's sister over you.
Yeah, what?
Before you even finish your sentence, I'm like, bye.
Yeah, her. Sorry. Not sorry.
Just her. It's her.
It's her.
It's her. Oh my God. It's her. It's her every time.
God.
Oh.
I told her that I wasn't playing the ultimatum game and told her that I wasn't choosing my wife's sister, but I was booting her out and not keeping her in my life. My girlfriend went out to the patio and played with her phone. What? What?
That's not okay. That's what. Fine. I guess we're doing that.
Yeah.
I'll send you an 8-ball pool.
Right. My sister-in-law left and took my son with her to get him somewhere safer. I went outside to tell her I'd be giving her cash and buying her a moving truck to get her to wherever she needs to go, but she's not welcome in my house. She got really upset with me. Some things I've learned, and bear with me because I know it's hard to relate to or understand unless you yourself are actually a widow. 1, I am in fact ready to date once I'm past this ordeal. It has been 5 years and I am ready for that. And I think my son is as well, even if I take it way slower next time and don't start inviting women to live with me. Oh no.
I mean, do definitely, even if you should, 100,000% you should take it slow.
Yes. Yes, I
Should
agree.
not be. There should not be an even if. It should be a and I will take it slow.
Right. This is you simply must. I do believe I might be able to find a nice woman who accepts my wife's role in both mine and my son's lives, based on the responses in the previous thread from other women. 2, my sister-in-law believes I'm prone to just put up with more from people because of what I went through with my wife and being fearful of losing people or reliving that nightmare. And it would be a nightmare if you didn't listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I agree with that. I think that's super possible that he's just kind of like putting up with things because he's scared of losing someone
Yeah,
again.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's almost like the way that we operate is based on the things that we've gone through in our lives.
What? No way. I thought we were robots.
Oh, that's what his son is going to be building.
That's true. That is true. Pretty cool. Cool stuff.
Keep a tab on the robots your son is building. You don't want him to build a robot that destroys the world.
That is true.
I hear that is a thing. I hear that's
that-
out there.
You hear that that's happened before?
I hear it.
People have it.
There have
and-
been whispers in movies and television shows
I see.
that
I
that's
see.
something to look out for.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Terminator.
Got it. Right.
Ah,
Right. Right. There's a Tesla store in my mall near me, and there's like a Tesla robot in there, and I thought that was crazy.
yeah.
But-
Why they got robots? Too many robots.
Too many robots.
Too many robots going around. Let's let less robots.
Less robots.
Too many robots too fast. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
But one thing I do like is that you're not dating this woman anymore.
Totally. Totally. Get her off your porch. She doesn't need to be playing Candy Crush right
Yeah.
now.
And you
It's not the
know,
time.
You've now known. Now you know exactly what a giant red flag looks like.
Yes. Yeah, that's honestly so important. Like, because I feel like that's so common with people who have been in like harmful relationships where it's like they just get into something that's not as bad as their one before, but it's still
Yeah.
bad. You know, I feel like that's just kind of similar but like opposite. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, it's like you just had such a hard time with that one that like any connection now is maybe good for you.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
mean,
this guy's got like the reverse of that in a way,
yeah.
where it's like he was the reason, like he was the bad element of a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and now he feels like maybe like he should just put up with bad elements,
Yeah.
because it's like, well, someone put up with me,
Right.
so I should be putting up
Yeah.
with stuff from other people.
Yeah, maybe. So let's maybe like therapy.
100%.
Get our values like in
Let's
check.
get you and your son in therapy, just to be clear. Yeah.
Please. Just to be safe, at least.
Yeah. Could not hurt.
But there is a little bit more to this story. Another thing I've learned. I feel terrible to have put my son through this, but I'm confident about talking to him and explaining why and apologizing to him. He's a smart boy, and I don't want to remove people from his life, but it's not okay to let people mistreat you or take advantage of you. I think he will understand that. And I'll be explaining that sometimes people appear very nice, but they aren't actually nice. This woman came into our lives and tried to take the place of his mother. No woman will ever replace his mother. And there is an edit here because a lot of people have asked. No, I didn't get the pictures back, and I don't think I will. Oh my God, now we go to the cops. Hello? Thievery. That's insane. My sister-in-law has my wife's dark room equipment, and we want to make it a point to set it up and learn how to process some old negatives, and I also have access to all of the negatives from the pictures my now ex-girlfriend took.
Well, that's good.
I can have them blown up again, and even if they aren't the originals, I at least will have them. Okay, so we do
Yeah.
have the pictures
We
then?
can make them again. Yeah, she 100%
Okay.
threw those away, which is crazy.
Yeah. That is insane.
Get her outta here.
We do have some final comments here. Srajina says, I think your ex was just an immature, jealous person. If it wasn't the pictures of your deceased wife, it would have been that girl that smiled at you at the grocery store.
Exactly.
Opie says, oddly enough, my sister-in-law said the exact same thing. She didn't know any of these things were going on or why I wasn't talking to her as much until the last night. And she was really hurt by it, which I feel really bad about. I don't want to sacrifice all of my relationships or the love for my wife that I have and my son has. Maybe there is some balance somewhere. I said previously that I didn't feel like it was a reason to pass away alone if I still love my wife and keep her memory preserved. But now I'm thinking if it means I have to pass away alone, I'll accept that. I will have my son. And Opie responds to a commenter that in the future, not to have a lot of pictures of his late wife around to overwhelm any future partner. Opie says, she was only in my house for a month. Before that, she never stated that she had any problems with the pictures. If she had actually tried to talk to me instead of going behind my back and taking things down and destroying them, I would have compromised with her. That didn't happen. And excuse me, but there aren't pictures everywhere in my house that contain her face. I had a few on the mantle, some on the refrigerator, my son and wife, and a couple others here and there, like one in the dining room. I took down every picture that was in the office that I gave to my girlfriend, and I also moved all of my wife's belongings out of the sunroom. I also let my girlfriend pick out new bedding for the bedroom since a lot of it was old stuff that my wife picked. I moved every single shred of evidence from my bedroom to the room with my safes and put it all in boxes if it contained any trace of my wife's existence. I left out photographs that she took in China and India that didn't have her in them and were simple landscapes, cityscapes, and architectural photographs. It is not as if I didn't consider her feelings at all.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you very much considered this and did
Totally.
everything within reason to make it
Totally.
perfectly acceptable for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's just an enormous red flag.
Exactly. The issue isn't necessarily that she wanted the pictures moved, and yes, I would have compromised if she talked to me about it, but the fact is that she didn't talk to me about it. She snuck around my back to do it. More info on getting the pictures back. Lockray Mono says, have you tried approaching her from the angle of this isn't fair to son's name? Those are pictures of his mother. Opie says, many times. She doesn't care. Her lack of compassion towards my son is what awakened me to what kind of person she actually is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Because it was, you saw her with your son and you went, oh my God, this is great. And then she's like, I don't care about your son.
I literally don't care. Keep him in his room. I don't care. Whatever.
And you go, oh.
Yeah. No.
Oh, gotta be breaking up.
Starry Dreams says, do you know any of her friends? Perhaps you can reach out to them and have them reason with her to give the pictures back. You can go the slash and burn route and ask on Facebook if anyone has any knowledge of what she did with the pictures of your son's deceased mother, because obviously you would be much obliged if they could share that information with you. Tag all of them in it. Opie says, we have some of the same friends that are mostly old coworkers we had when we worked together. I don't plan to stir up any extra drama because I'm already pretty stressed out about this whole thing. Right now, my priority is talking to my son and making sure he's okay. She removed me from her Facebook already, and I'm not a very active user. And that's the end of that story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those pictures are gone.
Yeah.
She lit those on fire for sure.
For sure. I'm glad you have more pictures, and I'm glad you have the negatives.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, it's not like this is all you have left of her.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, be warned. Sometimes you think someone is your girlfriend, but they're actually a little parasite.
Yes. Yes.
Trying to weasel their way into your home and remove pictures of your previous wife.
Watch out for those. They're out there.
They're out there.
They're out there. And we hear about them on here.
She was one of them. I mean, not you, but I just
I
meant
was
that
like,
in the story.
Yeah. We just learned about one of them.
Yes.
So
And that is the end of that story, and we have
And-
another one.
sure is.
Here it comes.
Woo!
My girlfriend made me sign a girlfriend contract. I thought it was a joke.
Well, joke's on you. I need that contract signed, sealed, and delivered.
My girlfriend, 25 female, has a few trust issues as she had a terrible childhood and 2 previous relationships where the guys treated her badly, so it's hard for her to trust sometimes. So this all started back in January. I, 22 male, was using Tinder and I matched with my then soon-to-be girlfriend. We have been together since the end of January and see each other often. By the way, this comes from Throwboy34, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, she's the funniest, sweetest girl I've probably ever had. Had? It's a weird way to say that. And for a while, I really thought this might be a long relationship until now. So fast forward to now. For context, my girlfriend and I love jokes. It's never been a one-sided thing. We both love making dumb jokes just for laughs and giggles. Just for the giggles.
I love little giggles.
They're just jokesters. They're so unique. No one's ever done that before in a
yeah,
relationship.
they just like to laugh and have fun. What's so wrong about that?
The vid is still in effect, so I've been collecting unemployment and spending time with my girlfriend. Last week, we were just sitting on the couch when she got up and went to the back for something. When she returned, she had a red folder, and inside the red folder was the girlfriend contract. Dun dun!
What?
It said rule number 1, you can't tell anyone about your girlfriend.
Closeted.
Rule number 2, no one can know about your girlfriend. That's a reference to Fight Club, but I couldn't remember the exact rules.
Does it look like I'm in a straitjacket?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm mentally ill.
What are the rules in Fight Club?
Stop talking about it. Quit it.
They're gonna fight you.
Oh, right. Those are the rules. Basically, a girlfriend contract is a contract that crazy girlfriends use to put boundaries on their boyfriend. I wish I would have known this sooner. That's not true. You just signed a contract. Well, I guess you've never made a contract.
Yeah, I've never. What do you mean?
Well, you just
I've signed
signed.
plenty.
Yeah.
Thank
signed
God
plenty
you're not
contracts.
making contracts out here.
What's wrong with my contracts?
You don't have any.
You will sign in order to have fun with me all the time. I'm sure everyone would sign that in this room,
Everyone
correct?
would sign it. That seems like a lot of work.
It's not a bad contract.
Yeah.
See? Mixed reviews.
She sat down and started going over everything that was on the list. I kid you not, throughout the whole reading of the contract, me and her were just cracking jokes about it. The jokes would go something like this. Example post, because I have the memory of a snail and can't remember the actual conversation. The memory of a snail?
Do snails have bad memories?
I don't know. I've never heard snails having bad memories. Do you mean like a fish? Girlfriend says, you cannot see Travis, my longtime friend, without me being with you. Me, geez, I'm gonna need a small cutout of you in my pocket then, lol. Girlfriend, lol, continues on reading. She sprinkled in some spicy rules too, like nobody's to touch your pee-pee but me. So when she said she wanted me to sign the paper, I grabbed the pen and just put my 2 initials along with the wiener drawing right beside it. Clearly not taking the contract seriously, then we just went back to doing what we were doing until next weekend happened. Next week, Travis hit me up to come chill at his house for a bit and smoke. I agreed and went over to his house. Everything was all good until I got a text from my girlfriend on Snapchat. Here's how the following messages went. Girlfriend, hey, what you doing? Me, just chilling over at Travis' house, babe. What about you? Girlfriend, Travis's house? Me, yeah, what's up? Girlfriend. ... Me, what's up? Do you want me to come over? Girlfriend, no. You told me that you weren't going to talk to Travis without me being there, remember? At this point, I had no idea what she was talking about because I didn't remember saying anything about not hanging out with my buddy without her until she reminded me of the contract. I was genuinely taken aback by this and asked her if she was serious about that contract. She insisted she was very serious. I flat out told her I wasn't going to do these things, as some of them were just completely outrageous. Like, I need $20 for you every 3 days. What? Why? You can't get a job less than 15 miles away from our county. After I told her no, she literally started screaming at me, saying that she thought I could be trusted and that I broke her contract. At this point, she was yelling so loud that my friend could hear her, and I didn't even have my phone on speaker mode. Immediate breakup.
Wow.
Immediately breaking up.
I would have been like, did you look at the signature? I put a pee-pee there.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking this
That's
serious.
not my signature. You'll
You
find that's
really-
not legally binding.
You really think that's my signature? That's on you.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know. I thought it was an artistic decision. I excused myself from Travis's place and headed over to my girlfriend's house. As soon as she saw me, she started going off on me about how I could just lie like that. How I was being selfish a-hole by not wanting to follow her rules when she was the damaged one in the relationship. I know you guys would think I would be yelling and calling her crazy, but I was just so genuinely in shock at this sudden change in her behavior that I barely even said a word. To give you guys a picture of how she was before the contract came up, she was quiet, sweet, and funny. She would text me frequently and ask where I was because, like I stated at the beginning, she had trust issues and didn't fully trust me yet. Compared to her now, she was throwing insults at me left and right, one about my performance in bed, and another about how I was getting unemployment. After a while, I snapped out of my complete shock and started arguing with her, trying to make her see that the contract was completely absurd. and that I needed my own boundaries and couldn't be with her 24/7. She was crying now, telling me that she had just started trusting me and that I was just like all the others, which wasn't remotely true, as my girlfriend had told me super personal things that I won't share here. I tried to make a compromise. I could dedicate Sunday and Monday to her, only where we could do whatever she wanted within the realm of reality, like renting a movie and me cooking dinner, or going out to some now open restaurants to eat. But she wouldn't have it. It ended with me going home and her crying in her house saying I was a liar. Guys, what should I do? I'm thinking she should definitely go to some kind of therapist for this. But apparently she told me that she's been doing online therapy for the last 3 years and that it's really helped her. It's just been ChatGPT. She checks. Do you think it's reasonable? Do you think it's reasonable to send a contract to my boyfriend? And ChatGPT's like,
Type up a girlfriend contract.
I think
for
that's
me.
super reasonable. I can even help you write it. But I don't know if I can really believe that now that all this has transpired. And relevant comments, Istara says, she's the most funniest, sweetest girl I've probably ever had. You're 22. How big is the pool of past girlfriends you are comparing her with? She's crazy and controlling, but you do you. OP says, I've had 4. Most ended
I've had
on
4.
good terms. 1 didn't. OP's stunting on us. Also, I would like to add this all came so suddenly, like a switch got turned on or something. And we've got an update 3 weeks later. But do you have any thoughts?
No. Thoughtless.
Thoughtless. I just get away. So, getting this out of the way, we're not together anymore. Well, nice. Good. After the post and me getting messages from people, I decided before I called it off to try and reason with her one more time. I called her up, and every time I tried to reason with her or explain that I couldn't do everything on that list, babe, I can't pay you $20 every 3 days. I'm unemployed. He doesn't have a job. She just called me names and said things like, I guess you're not the one for me. Or, this other guy I was talking to said he would do it, no problem. Then be with him. Problem solved. After not being able to come to an agreement on the phone, I told her that we should see other people. And this is where it went crazy. Here's how it went. Me, we should see other people since I can't make this work with that list of demands you want from me. Her, wait, what? Me, I'm breaking up with you, Sarah. Her name isn't actually Sarah. Her, how could you do that? You were supposed to give in to me. What? What? Is she an evil witch?
Is she a mermaid?
Is she a succubus?
Is she a succulent?
Anyway, OP responds, what? You're making crazy requests, and it's not possible for me to do all the things on your list. Her, you're gonna leave me? I'm the best thing that's ever happened to your pathetic life. How will you replace me? Easily. Me, I think I'll manage if my next partner doesn't flip out on me for not following a list of demands. How about you go over to the other guy since he would be happy to become a servant for you? Hangs up on her. Click. Oh, mic drop.
Yeah, you thought that we were going to be polite. No.
No, sir.
No way.
After I hung up the phone, she tried calling me 20 different times on other people's phones until I finally blocked her successfully. How did she find 20 different phones? Was she just like in public and she's like, sorry, sir, I need to borrow your phone. It's like when like the police are able to commandeer a vehicle. She's like, this is important business. I need to commandeer your phone. Stop breaking up with me. Then she went to my Twitter and blew it up with texts about how I'm scum. Usually I would have jumped into texting back or something, but I had gotten a few messages from other people on here saying that she might try and use that to keep me trapped. So I just let her keep on going. She ended up grabbing a picture of a person, hurting themselves, and sending it to me saying, this is what I made her do. Wait, so she just found a fake picture?
That's like abuse.
Yeah.
Now it's gone too far. What
Can
is
I
wrong
say
with her?
something?
She's
What?
crashing.
Somebody call Taylor Swift, because look what she made her do.
Thought you were gonna say somebody call 911.
I right-clicked the image and found the exact same picture on Google, screenshotted it, then sent her the Google search. She went ballistic, and I just ended up blocking her. Over the last few weeks, she's been constantly making new accounts on Twitter and my Instagram, pestering me and saying crazy things and lies under my posts to make me seem like I was stalking her and that I was a creep, among other things. I would just block these immediately, and if my friends or people I knew hit me up about the comments, I would just tell them what happened and show them her messages. It got to a point where when I would post something, she would immediately post afterward with false accusations. Then my friends and others would just destroy her in the comments, as they should. Good job on them. It stopped for a while until last week when I got a random text from an unknown number. It was a video of my ex-girlfriend with the caption, "Found someone who will follow my list." And it's a dog, actually. It's a dog every time. No, wait, no, it's a crow. And it shows up with $20 in its beak every time you leave it nuts.
You go,
So, yeah, that hurt a lot. But I'm doing relatively good. Got a new job, and I haven't heard anything from my ex-girlfriend since that video. There is an edit, folks. But do you have any other thoughts?
I mean, this girl's absolutely bat crap crazy.
She's crazy.
She like literally went through all of this work just to be like, you should be with me. I'm normal. Like,
truly.
like she's like, please, we would be so good together. You were supposed to give in. Now look what you're making me do.
You're making me stalk you. It's your fault.
How many accounts do I have to make in order for you to get it?
Too
Like,
many. Too many. How is she making so many accounts?
I know. I
Where is
don't
she
know if that's
getting all these
allowed.
numbers? I don't get it.
She's just making Gmail after Gmail.
Edit. Sorry, forgot to post that I got in contact with one of her ex-boyfriends. They never even dated. He had spicy sleep with her a few times, fully knowing they both didn't want a relationship. Then, after one night, she tried to make him sign a contract, and when he said they weren't together, she flipped out and kicked him out. I completely believe that she was lying about her ex-boyfriends, but I oddly still do believe she had some kind of mistreatment as a kid to turn out this way. I would imagine so.
I would think so. I'd have to agree with that.
But you know what else I agree with?
What?
You guys should listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a teeny tiny, weeny little bit left of this story. Edit 2, I see a lot of people in the comments asking for what was
I see London,
the
I see
contract.
France.
Yeah, that was in the contract. You have to
That
give me
was
London
in the
and France.
contract.
It's been a while, but I still remember a few, and I'll list as much as I can remember. Number 1, you have to give me $20 every 3 days.
I'm just gonna start giving that to people.
Please.
Not
$20.
No, I'm gonna give them the contract. And
Yeah,
be
you
like,
text them.
since we've been friends for a while, I wanted to
$20.
give you this contract. You have to give me $20 every 3 days.
Please. I'm going to
That's
send
just-
this to my boyfriend.
If you want to be my friend, that's what comes with it.
Number 2, you are not allowed to see your friends unless I'm present. Number 3, you can't have a job 15 miles away from my home. Number 4, if you go out to eat, you must share half with me always. What? Get your own meal. Why? No talking to people in public while I'm with you. I'll do the talking.
What?
Sorry, this is my girlfriend. She will speak for me. There were at least 50 rules just like that, and in between the absurd ones, she would sprinkle in spicy rules as well, so I generally didn't take the contract seriously. Like a joke thing. Final comments, person 868 says, very commendable breakup convo. Kudos for handling it the way you did. She is definitely a psycho. OP says, trust me, I simplified it for the Reddit post. She was acting all kinds of crazy. And that is the end of the story. My oh my, I'm glad you're out of that relationship, because what a nightmare.
I discovered my girlfriend's lies about her male best friend.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Trigger warning for essay. I, 23 male, met Nicole, 21 female, 3 years ago around my second year of college. I'm from out of state, and I received a full scholarship to the university that we're currently at, so I didn't have any friends at the time. She was nice and took interest in me pretty quickly, and we started dating. By the way, this comes from 3 Years a Lie. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And OP says, she's told me from the beginning that she had been best friends with this guy, Adam, 21 male, since they were little and that they were very close and their families were close. I was fine with it at the time. I'm not really a jealous person and I'm pretty laid back. Adam seemed like a nice guy and I thought, who am I to really tell her who she can and can't be friends with? Anyways, they have been close even through the relationship. They go on trips together with their families, they study together, have a few classes together, go to dinner or lunch, and have even stayed the night at each other's apartments.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
They're just BFFs. They're just, having fun late night talks.
Yep. Just really,
Talks.
really good friends.
Just the local gossip,
The hot goss.
Yep. You know it.
There was so many things listed there that I would be way uncomfortable with.
Totally.
Well
Totally.
beyond that last apartments one.
Right.
It was weird at first, but I trusted her as well as him. Honestly, she always told me ahead of time, so I felt like it was fine, not ideal. It never really affected our relationship. We spent time together, had a great connection, and all that good stuff. Nicole and Adam left on Sunday, they finished finals early or something like that, to head down to their family's beach house about 4 hours away from campus. They did invite me, but I have some finals left, and then I have a summer course starting nearly immediately after my finals, so I declined so that I could prep for my final 2 courses before I graduate. I met up in the library with one of her friends in my web design class to put some finishing touches on our final project. We got on the topic of relationships, and she was telling me about how when she started dating her current boyfriend, she made him cut all contact with his ex-girlfriend, even though the ex wanted to remain close. She asked me why I didn't do the same, and I was confused. I didn't understand what she meant, and then she explained and showed me proof that Nicole and Adam dated throughout high school.
No.
They also went to prom together.
No, not
Wait.
prom.
Hold on. This is very crazy because I know of a couple who actually dated in high school and they're still like BFFs and everything. But then the guy was like, he became gay. He was gay. Like he was like, I don't. But they were like they're still best friends now to this day.
I think he's probably gay the whole time,
Solid.
but yeah, realized it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at you for became gay.
He
No,
became
it's okay.
gay.
I knew what you meant.
You know what I meant.
I knew what
Yeah.
you meant, but I
It's
just
good
like
clarification
to tease
for-
you because I love you. Don't give it that look. You do it to me all the time. And chat is all witnesses. All witnesses. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, were they
I've
chill
seen
after
that
that?
happen.
Were they chill after that?
Yeah, they're very chill.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be gay in this one.
I think he is.
I think that lie's gonna come up.
OP is a woman, yes?
Yes.
This is
No,
the
OP's a
boyfriend?
OP's a
man. OP's dating a woman, and that woman is best friends with a man.
I see. I thought this was.
No, man, woman,
Okay.
man.
Okay. But so this man has a girlfriend?
OP has a girlfriend.
Yes.
That girlfriend's male best friend
Okay.
she dated in high school and went to prom with, and he did not know. And that's who
I see.
she's
I
staying
see.
over at his house and doing all these like seemingly datey things with. But he's like, but they
Gotcha.
never dated. They've just been like besties for life.
Right.
And now her female friend is like, I'm shocked that you would let like your girlfriend still hang out with her ex. And he was like,
yeah.
she's not hanging out with her ex. She's hanging out with like her longtime
And then
friend.
now it's like.
And she's like,
actually,
You
yeah.
want the receipts?
I thought it was like the guy's girlfriend or something. Like that was OP. Was out of the two best friends, there's the guy and the girl. I thought it was
Oh,
like the OP was
gotcha.
the guy's girlfriend, but wrong. I'm wrong.
I was pretty lost as to what to do or how to feel. I found out yesterday, and all I could think was that Adam could potentially be screwing my girlfriend at this very moment. I trust her, or trusted her, but I've never seen exes hang out and be as buddy-buddy as them without hooking up before. As dense as it sounds, I almost can't wrap my head around their level of closeness and not doing it. I talked to my older sister, and she told me I had to calm down and that maybe there was a reason they never said anything. She said if I trusted Nicole before knowing, she didn't see why I would suddenly accuse her otherwise. I will say I feel like that comes in of the part of like, yeah, you didn't lie to me, but you omitted like a really big truth.
Yeah, totally. It's like, well, why
You
would you
withheld it.
hide that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like if I feel like it would just be right to kind of like let them know, just like, hey, by the way, like I just want to throw it out
Right.
there. We dated for a while in high
It
school,
was a high school thing.
but it's like totally over. This is how it is now.
Yeah.
But like we're still friends, and it's like chill. I just don't want you to worry.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That simple.
Yeah,
To save all this
just-
like
Super nonchalant.
spiraling that OP's about to go through.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
She said if I trusted Nicole before knowing, she didn't see why I would suddenly accuse her otherwise, even if her best friend is her ex. But I feel like that logic is so flawed because my entire foundation of trust for this relationship stemmed from the fact that Adam was her childhood best friend, not her ex. Honestly, if she would have told me before we started dating, I think I probably would have walked away from the relationship. She's a great and nice girl, but getting with someone who is still so heavily involved with their ex is a roller coaster I don't think I would have ever willingly signed up for. Am I thinking about this the wrong way? Is it crazy that I'm already considering ending the relationship over this, whether she cheated or not? I haven't brought it up to her yet. I want to talk in person rather than on the phone. I'm going to hide the fact that I know until she comes back to campus on Friday to spend my birthday weekend with me. But I don't see any logical explanation that will keep me committed, except for the one that Keon said. We have some comments, but any advice before we get into this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I wasn't expecting him to say that, like, he would have walked away from the relationship if he knew right away. I thought he was about to say, like, I would have been fine with it if she told me straight up, like, at the beginning of our relationship. But, I mean, I guess some people, I guess, are just not comfortable with that. But yeah, it is very suspicious. It is very suspicious.
Yeah, I think I'd just be like, oh, why didn't you tell me? Like, that's just
Yeah.
really weird and uncomfortable. Like, and they're early in college, so it's not like this is a high school relationship. It's pretty recently.
Yeah.
Like, if this was so forever ago in the past, maybe, but
Right.
it's like,
Right. Because it's like, if
it's like a couple years old potentially. They
Yeah.
went to prom. This is like less than 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it was all throughout high school, it's like that. I feel like the further you get away from high school relationships like that, it's like, okay, well,
Right. Then it
yeah,
doesn't
it was a
matter as
long
much.
time, but like in high school, everything seems like so much longer.
Right.
But yeah, if it's so recent, then they probably still recognize it as like a long time
Yeah.
and like super meaningful. So
It's weird.
I also want to know why they broke up. I feel like that's important.
That is important too.
I'm curious.
Relevant comments. Empty whiteboard. The lying is problematic. I made a comment already detailing what I think the lying was done for. But the lying is the crux of the issue. Your trust is shattered, and if you pit yourself up against Adam, I am positive she will choose Adam over you every single time. That is the real crux now. Before, you thought that you would be a bigger priority than him. It never had to be that way because of the history as you understood it. Now that you know the truth, it will either be something you get over after hearing her reasons, which I detailed in another comment, I would bet money on it, or you push and she chooses Adam over you. Lastly, you could try to get over it and just not be able to. I would personally find it very hard to be okay with their friendship after this lie. OP responds, the lying is what really makes me just want to leave altogether. Not only her lying, but his lying as well as their families. I've met all of them, and none of them have ever said a word about it, though maybe their families don't know. Emotionally invested or not, I'd never be up for having her pick between Adam or myself. I'm not that type of person. Those ultimatums, in my opinion, never result in anything but more issues. Also, they do have a lot of history, and families are connected. I feel like I'm the one in the wrong for even stepping into her life. I've been thinking about this too much, although I should be studying instead. But I feel like it's either she's loyal and faithful, but I knew I wouldn't have even begun a relationship with her in the first place, or she's hooking up occasionally or something like friends with benefits. Either way, I see it as a wrong. If she's loyal, which honestly I think might be the case, then it's wrong of her to omit information and manipulate my choice to begin dating her in the first place. If I had any skeletons in my closet, I would be open and clear about it before I engage in a relationship with someone, letting them make a clear and honest decision about it was a deal breaker or not. As for getting over it, I don't think I can. Or even if I can, I feel like it's almost not worth the effort. I feel like it's going to mess with the dynamic of our relationship. And then I have to deal with her feeling guilty or always having to check in with me or sending Adam to talk or any of the other stuff that I don't even want to have to deal with. I'm probably saying this out of convenience, but once I finish this summer semester, I'll be done. I could have a clean break, move back home with my parents for a few months, and move on with my life. We have an update 3 days later.
I mean, okay. I feel like if you knew this at the beginning of the relationship and just knowing that at the beginning would make you walk away, I feel like you should just walk away. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, because you know it now.
Yeah, you know it now. It seems like he's trying to make up his mind.
Well, I think he's just like, do I bother getting the reasons that they're
Okay.
still friends?
Yeah.
Or do I just be like, nope, can't get over it now, bye?
I feel like you should do that one.
You know?
I mean, well, okay.
I feel like you can get the reasons anyway, but ultimately
Yeah.
I think you're gonna leave still.
Yeah.
Update 3 days later.
Woohoo!
Nicole showed up Thursday night after my exams to surprise me for my birthday weekend. We hung out and talked, and I tried my best to just be normal with her. When I asked her about Adam, she was extremely reluctant and borderline defensive to even discuss it. You never brought it up before, why do you want to know about it now? When she realized I wasn't dropping it, she pretty much broke down and told me everything.
Oh, man.
Adam was the one who convinced her not to tell me about their past relationship. The last few guys she dated were scared off by her being best friends with her ex, and he didn't want me to leave in the same way. It was only supposed to be for a little while. She didn't plan on staying that close to Adam while being in a relationship. Adam's dad was in the process of getting a promotion when Nicole and I started dating, which would move him and his family to the Midwest, but the promotion fell through. She said Adam became more direct once he found out he wasn't leaving, constantly insisting that she hang out with him without me, even to the point where she would be canceling plans with me. For most people, I'm sure that would have been a red flag, but I've been taking 6 to 7 course semesters. Where's Riley?
Oh my gosh. Riley, are you watching?
6-7 mentioned.
For the past 2 years in attempts to graduate early and get the most out of my scholarship. If I wasn't studying or with Nicole, I always had a million other things to catch up on. She blamed me for not setting boundaries or being more strict with her, which led her to become comfortable with her freedom with him. No!
Yeah.
You can't blame someone else for your dirty cheating.
Yeah, absolutely
Gross.
not.
You should
Absolutely not.
have told me straight out that I couldn't cheat on you.
Right.
You should have told me I couldn't spend more time with the guy.
Yeah,
It's
right.
your fault that I slept at his house. You weren't telling me to come home.
Right. It's like, huh?
Well, maybe you
Huh?
should have told me the information that you used to date him.
Yeah. Come on, dude. Come on.
Adam still had really strong feelings for her, though she said she didn't feel the same way about him. She admitted that Adam grew to resent me and became very jealous of our relationship and how effortlessly happy I made her feel. She told me she never cheated on me despite Adam's advances and flirtation. And yet, somehow, I feel as though you staying in his room counts.
Yeah. I feel like
Knowing
pretty
that
close.
he's making advances, I feel like staying over at his apartment counts.
I do not
At
trust
least
you when
emotionally.
you say that you didn't cheat.
Yeah.
If you're staying over.
At this point, she was crying and desperate, begging for forgiveness and promising to cut all ties with Adam. She swore she wouldn't ever talk to him or hang out with him again. She told me I was the only person she wanted to spend her life with and poured out a bunch of other ridiculousness I could hardly even listen to. I was angry and probably didn't phrase it the way I should have, but I told her it was the perpetual lying and deceitfulness that had me so angry, and that was the reason I was breaking up with her. That's pretty much how it ended, with me telling her she could leave. Adam sent me some hateful texts, which I ignored. Yesterday night, I was an emotional wreck. I felt ashamed and angry at myself for crying over someone so stupid. But this morning, I didn't feel nearly as bad as I expected. I spoke to my best friend, and he helped me put it into perspective. I'm going home tonight for my birthday weekend, and then I'll just focusing on finishing school and finding a job. I'm glad it's over, and even more glad I don't live in this state anymore. We have some comments. First one
Dang,
being
dude.
a downvoted commenter.
Oh, interesting. Let's read it.
So there's no time frame on when Adam found out that he wasn't leaving. It could have been way more recent. You have no idea how she rebuked his advances or what their conversations were like. She could have rebuked him several times and didn't want to bring it up with her boyfriend because it would just be unnecessary drama in her life since she no longer saw Adam that way. Where I can see being upset, breaking up with her over it just seems really extreme, especially since when she, 1, comes clean, and 2, admits she was wrong, and 3, is willing to fix it. Do people not get second chances anymore? Is that just not a thing that is done?
No.
3 years in?
That was from Adam. Adam made that comment.
Yeah.
Shia.
I'm a man of second chances, but if you were lying to me for 3 years and
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, that's
Also,
wild.
second chances on cheating.
Yeah, like second chances are chill, but not in every situation.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
OP expands on the timeline. When I first found out about her and her best friend being exes from high school, I was ready to end it immediately. I was upset that I got lied to and even more angry that I had to hear it from a friend and not from her. I took some time and thought about it, and before I spoke with her last night, I was fully willing to forgive her if her reasoning was to avoid drama. I do believe in second chances, but trust is hard to win back. Adam found out 6 months into my relationship with her that his dad wasn't getting promoted. That's basically 2.5 years for Nicole to take responsibility and separate herself from him, especially if he liked her. Whether she felt the same way or not, in my eyes, it's wrong to keep hanging out and sleeping over with someone who has such strong feelings for you when you have a significant other. She only came clean after I confronted her. Her plan was to never tell me. After the year mark, she admitted she realized she was in too deep, and that was the only way. She blamed me for everything, saying it was my fault for not setting boundaries, for trusting her decision-making skills, and for not recognizing what was appropriate. She only wanted to fix it once she realized I was 100% done with the relationship. She tried to guilt me as if her hiding this and me not playing detective was my fault. Even if I was willing to forgive her, our relationship dynamic is ruined. I don't want to be the controlling boyfriend, and I can't be with someone I don't trust. And we have some vital information from OP, courtesy of Queen Levine. Sounds like she really likes you and she wants to try to make it work. The thing about it is that I really liked her as well. I wanted to make it work more than anything in the world. I really did. It's something that I couldn't really convey in my post, is that I always saw this girl as like my escape away from everything. I've been in study mode since I was 18, and I haven't really had much time for the simple things in life, like hanging out with a girlfriend or going out to parties or anything like that. I didn't want a relationship at first because I didn't think I would have the time or be able to time manage properly. When I was busy, I always encouraged her to have fun with other friends. There was a mutual trust there, especially with Adam. It was rough at first, but eventually she convinced me nothing would happen between them and that he was just a childhood friend. But I made it explicitly clear way back when we started dating. She had concerns about her freedom and being able to do as she wanted, and she wanted to know why I trusted her, since her other boyfriends didn't, and gave her so much space, and I told her that I had no reason not to trust her. She's my girlfriend after all. All I ask is that you tell me the truth, even if it'll hurt my feelings or get me upset. I realize my school schedule isn't ideal, but I think we can work through just about anything. But I don't think people owe their significant other their entire dating history, including the people you know in common. I strongly disagree with this statement if you guys have mutual friends that when disclosing pasts are the most important, especially when you don't disclose your past with someone because you'll know it'll alter their decisions and other aspects of your relationship. That's not cool on a bunch of levels. Omitted to tell someone about a neighbor who you slept with 3 years ago isn't the same as keeping an ex under your significant other's nose. Maybe if her and Adam saw each other occasionally or weekly or monthly, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But when you hang out with someone pretty much 4 to 5 times a week, it becomes a problem. You owe it to your significant other to tell them about people you interact with often. Maybe you're different than me and have yourself and your relationship with your significant other all figured out, but that's a really big deal in my book. She's being honest about everything that's happened during your relationship. I could no longer trust what happened during our relationship. I didn't know what was truth and what was a lie. However, I spoke with her today, and she actually came to visit me at my apartment unannounced. And although we are broken up, she felt the need to tell me more about it. She apologized on how she acted, letting her disappointment, shamefulness, and guilt get the better of her. She apologized for Adam's text messages and some other things she did. But she did, in fact, cheat on me.
Dang. Wait.
Keon's not here to switch the things.
Dang. The truth comes out.
Exposed.
Oh, man.
Who saw that one coming?
Not me.
Really?
No, it was very obvious.
Okay. I was like, Angie, what?
I'm blind.
But she did in fact cheat on me. It happened 2 different occasions throughout different parts of our relationship. Every occasion mixed with booze and them being alone for the night. All initiated by Adam. I don't like that it was all mixed with booze and initiated by him. I'm
Same.
not gonna lie.
Suspicious.
Our legs back.
Legs are back.
Hello, legs. Legolas.
You should be.
They also have kissed, or as she told me, Adam would kiss her frequently on the lips, taking advantage of her.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on.
Ruh-roh.
New information. Bad new information.
Very bad new information.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie too, like, that changes the terms she cheated on me for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, she did. And I do think she still withheld stuff, and there was a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm sure she didn't necessarily maybe realize what was happening, or like, sorry guys, I need to think
and process it. No, I agree. I think
she was being taken advantage of. Like, you don't want to be like,
yeah.
she 100% still cheated, but this adds like a whole new spin of like, well, Adam's an icky, yucky person.
Yeah, because I wonder, because some of the situations seemed consensual, I thought. But with that information, like, it very well could be that everything was not.
The stuff that is consensual was mixed with booze, them being alone, and initiated by Adam.
That is
which
true.
Then really sounds a lot less consensual to me.
Yeah, it does. So it's like, I honestly wouldn't even call that cheating then. And she probably is calling it that because she feels guilty, and you know, there's obviously so much like victim blaming with that stuff.
I think there's gonna be the guilt and the like shame of it, which she doesn't need to have. I think that if she could have come forward and told her boyfriend about all this, like, maybe they could have worked through it. There was still that like lying and admitting of truth, but that changes things a lot.
Yeah, it totally does. I wonder how OP feels about that.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading, guys.
Yeah.
My brain's not gonna process this one. So, based off that alone, I'm 2,000% done.
Not our favorite way to deal with that.
Yeah. I had my doubts, you know, maybe she really did just lie about them being exes, but when she confirmed that she cheated, that's when I knew I made the right decision to move on. By the way, you never have to move on from us because there's always full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. It's a little bit more,
we could just go right into it.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah, we've said our thoughts.
Has it been a roller coaster? Did it affect your relationship in any way before you found out? I'm assuming this is a commenter asking. All I can say is that ignorance is bliss. Looking back on it now, I can vividly see periods that would have made me question everything. Freedoms and things that I was okay with, I would have freaked over. Letting her sleep at his house was a big deal. Having to split my limited free time up with him was a huge issue for me. Despite the cheating and lying, I do care for her, but I can never be with her again. She either has to date Adam or get the F away from him. She needs to get the F away from him.
Yeah, definitely get the F away.
Oh, I just had a thought, and it just, like, I feel like 100% you can still end this relationship. Like, no one is ever saying, like, because it happened in this way, you have to stay in this relationship. But I feel like that changes enough things that you can, like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like, and she like, I'm not sure she cheated on you, my dude. Like, yes, honestly technically, by a technicality, she did.
I think it depends on your definition of cheating. Yeah. Because some, people have different definitions. I feel like, some people think holding hands is cheating or something like that. Right. Or kissing isn't cheating, Right. I think my definition would be like if you would be consciously cheating. Like if something just you were in a relationship and something just like happened to you against your will and without your consent, I feel like I would not blame my partner for that at all.
Cheating to me.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if she realizes if like the way that she's saying it, I want to be like, are you okay? And
Yeah.
I'm like, let's
Now
talk
I'm
about
worried.
this, because I'm not sure that you cheated, and I don't think we need to jump right to that. I
Yeah.
need to jump to like, are you okay?
Totally. I think maybe the relationship should still end based on how you are acting. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think she should have you in her life,
But I think she should get some help and
yeah,
and
get
that
away
kind
from
of stuff.
him.
She needs to be away from Adam.
Yeah.
She either has to date Adam or get the F away from him, but that's not something I can be a part of right now. Like I told someone else, before I leave back to my hometown for good, maybe I'll sit down with her and give her a new perspective on things. No. Stop. No. I
Definitely
don't like
not.
your perspective on things, OP.
Not at all.
But right now, she can learn on her own. And that's the end of that story.
Yikes, dude. I don't like you, OP.
Yikes.
Dang.
Wow. The men in that story.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I think I still stand by. I don't think you guys should be together because I don't think you should be in a relationship with her. I think it sucks though, because even with that, she's going to take that so hard and so
Yeah.
like internally. Like if she had been with past boyfriends who didn't like that she was best friends with her ex and broke up with her because of that, and now
Yeah.
she's in this relationship and now it's a problem that she kept it secret.
Right.
She's
not
already
gonna know how to do it.
she's already probably like stressed and confused about that. And then of course, the factor of the essay in it, it's like that's huge. And she's probably feeling so much guilt there.
Exactly.
So it's just so
Which she
many
shouldn't.
layers to this problem, and I feel so bad for her.
Yeah, I'm concerned for the level of coercion and like
Yep.
control that Adam has over her.
Totally.
That she's
Totally.
not realizing, OP's not going to realize because she's not able to tell him.
Right.
Like the fact that he was like, you have to hide this from
Yeah.
OP.
He convinced her to do that. That already is like a raising a red flag of their dynamic. So I do still want to know why they broke up initially. Like if they broke up but Adam still, has this hold on her and wants to use her. Like I wonder.
It sounded like whatever it was, she ended things with Adam.
Okay.
Which is because it was like Adam's still in love with her,
I see.
but she doesn't want anything to do with him.
That's right.
Is what the original.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she doesn't want. I would not blame her for not wanting anything to do with him after he's doing this stuff.
Icky.
Yeah. Icky. I really hope that she is okay now.
I hope
somewhere out
she's
there.
not with Adam.
Yep.
I hope she felt comfortable enough to go to someone and not feel shame for something that she should not feel shame about.
Not at all.
And then she can get help.
Hopefully. We're just gonna pretend that that's what happened now.
We are.
We're just going
Happy
to.
endings. Adam got all the
Yep.
bad karma he deserves.
And so did OP, honestly.
just for those comments at the end.
Yeah. Didn't like it. But you know what I do like? The fact that we've got another story coming up.
My girlfriend kissed another girl in front of me, so I dumped her.
And that's the full scoop, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna keep it straight, because I don't even know how I should feel. Basically, me, my girlfriend, and our friend group were hanging out at one of our friends' house. We were playing Uno, just having fun. That's how it starts with Uno.
That's how it always starts.
Yeah, I end up
No.
kissing Dakota all the time after Uno.
yeah.
Just from Uno.
Cursing at each other, hitting each other, stuff that happens in an Uno match. By the way, this comes from Ill Championship 73, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So please let us know what you would do in the comments. Out of nowhere, one of my friends asked my girlfriend, how much money would it cost for you to kiss a girl? I should specify that she's bi, and it's something she was clear about with me from the start. I didn't really mind whatsoever. After my friend asked her that, she just said, free, bruh, in a very clear, joking tone, which we all laughed a bit about. But then immediately said, you know what? And went and kissed another girl in our friend group. The group was in shock, but I feel like they were happy shocked. They had their mouths open in shock, but they were smiling, and some of them started laughing. Meanwhile, I was sitting there just staring at her. I genuinely felt like my heart completely disappeared. I wasn't mad nor sad, I just felt super blank. She then came to me to hug me, and I just pushed her away, lightly, which she reacted to with surprise.
I cannot
Not
let you
even
get
like-
close.
Just like a gentle, like,
Yeah, like,
no.
just
Actually, yeah.
Without saying a single word, I stood up from the floor and started packing my stuff while my girlfriend was asking me why I was so mad and saying it was just a joke. My friends were still laughing about it while I continued to just stare at her, trying to make her realize what she had just done. When I was done, I left the house and walked home. It was a little far, but I honestly didn't feel like I cared at that moment. When I got home, my phone was full of missed calls and about 30 texts from her asking me what had happened.
It's like, you know what happened, but you just need him to say it. It's like, everything got weird after I kissed that
girl.
person.
I wrote a text to her telling her that we were done and that I just couldn't believe that she would genuinely kiss someone else in front of me and expect me to just take it like it was nothing. I told her goodbye and blocked her. About 2 hours later, my friends started texting me, calling me overdramatic. They were all telling me I was acting like a little kid and that I shouldn't have gotten so mad because it's just two girls kissing. Which is so, like, dismissive, like, queer female relationships. Just, like, any sapphic relationship that dismisses it completely. And the fact that your girlfriend, as a bi woman, doesn't get that and doesn't see why what her friends are saying is wrong is also super bad just for bi people.
Sophia, I don't get how you don't get that it's just two girls kissing.
Just two girls kissing. It doesn't count. That's literally what they're saying. And if your girlfriend doesn't hear what they're saying,
it's a natural force.
That's
It's like
crazy.
gravity. It's just something that happens.
yeah, that's insane.
It's something that happens
It's just-
by nature.
It's just nature.
Well, if it were wicked, we gotta defy gravity.
Before you all ask, I blocked all of them everywhere. I don't even know how I should feel. Keep in mind, I'm writing this 2 days after this happened, and I'm still processing it. Am I actually in the wrong? I don't think that I am whatsoever, but I'm still really worded out about it. Am I the a-hole? And there are some relevant comments. Own Conclusion says, why did it bother you so much? OP says, she kissed someone else in front of me. It's not something that just gets passed as a joke, man. Locke says, I don't know if it's AI or not, but I'm still trying to figure out the casual, we were all hitting each other like you do in normal Uno games. What I meant in this is the chaos that usually happens in long Uno matches in friend groups. At least that is something that happened a lot in that group. We played a version of Uno called No Mercy, and we played with a lot of made-up rules to make things more chaotic. I am sorry, it sounds fake. Deleted comment, but it goes like, were you both willing to give up all kitty for the entire relationship? OP says, I'm not a religious person. Neither do I follow any of that alpha male stuff you said. Neither am I American. A deleted comment asked if OP would react differently if his ex was not bi. OP says, I don't really believe that I would have reacted differently if she was straight. As I stated in the edit of that post, conversations about those type of stuff and boundaries were made and established. DT3092 says, the irony of this story starting with, I'm going to keep it straight, when his girlfriend, in fact, did not. Uno, reverse. OP says, I've seen 10 replies about this thing so far. I swear it wasn't intentional, LMAO. Update. Hello, y'all. I read a lot of the opinions on this and decided to text her again to explain the reason that I left based on some of your suggestions. I do think that is probably good just so everyone can kind of get what they want to say out. I
Yeah.
still think it's fair that you want to end the relationship because that was totally a betrayal. But I think it is good just in general to have a conversation. As of writing this, I'm only left on scene, but no matter if she answers or not, I don't believe I want to go back together. Something that I believe should be common sense for some people is that, yes, during these 3 years, we have both talked about everything that is to do with boundaries, stuff that we like in those terms, and things that we both would not be okay with doing. Even if we were together for 3 years, I don't believe doing such a thing as a joke is a good excuse to stay with somebody who broke your trust and played it off as some dare. I think it's an even worse look if you decide to break your partner's trust just like that. I appreciate the opinions and suggestions a lot. If something else happens that I required advice on, I'll update the same post, but for now, I'm grateful. Edit 2. Hello, this is the last edit I'm going to do on this post, since I feel like I've sorted everything out and wanted to clear some things for those curious. 1. Today, she responded to the paragraph I sent with nothing but a laughing face. No apology, no text, nothing. That's crazy. I don't believe there's anything else to do about that. I don't care anymore and have no interest in anything that has to do with her. 2. The person who asked her the question of how much it would cost was a guy, not the other girl. I'm not sure what the other girl thought about it, but I don't really care either. since like the others, she only laughed about it. I also don't care about the guy. I have no interest in knowing about any of them at all. 3. The only person I've stayed friends with from that group was someone who wasn't at the hangout when everything happened. He reached out to me through Discord and asked me to explain everything. I did, and he understood me. I'm not sure if he's still friends with the others, as all he's told me is that he doesn't feel comfortable talking with them after I explained everything. So far, with him, everything's cool. 4. This isn't much of a clearance, but an opinion from myself. I've read a lot of the comments and learned a lot of stuff. Some things I agreed with and some not at all. What I don't understand, and I apologize if it offends anybody, is the genuine lack of reading comprehension from some people. Almost all of the comments that told me I was the a-hole always said I should have run with it and have a... You're a kitty. I find it really hot when my wife kisses another girl. Grow the F up. It's just girls kissing, and she's better off without someone controlling. All of those commenters are biphobic. None of those commenters are actually supportive of queer women, and it astounds me that OP's girlfriend would behave that way.
Sounds like they're super supportive of women kissing each
Yeah,
other.
they're like, they should only kiss, but only in front of me. Most of them are always only saying that. In my past edit, I specifically said that this type of stuff is boundaries that we both established over the course of our relationship. It was something that both of us agreed we wouldn't do because we both found it disrespectful in a relationship. If you find it hot and have established with your partner that you don't mind when they do stuff like that with someone else, that's fine for you. I strongly believe that people who commented that stuff just read the title and nothing else. The fact that some of you would genuinely try to enforce your mindset onto someone who is clearly against it is honestly very sad in my opinion. By the way, it's always sad to me when you guys don't listen to full episodes of stories just like this, because you can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio if you just search up OK Storytime.
You can find them all over the place.
All
you
over
scrounge
the
around.
place.
You don't even have to scrounge. Scrounging implies it's hard
It's not hard.
to find them. It's not.
It's easy. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
At the end of the day, she kissed a girl, and you did not like it. I wonder what kind of chapstick she was wearing.
I won't update this post anymore as I believe I've understood everything. I really appreciate everyone who helped me understand things and gave me their POV, while also giving me tips on what I should do. I do believe I will start focusing more on myself with stuff like the gym and try to be more social so I can find good friends. I hope nothing but the best for those who helped me. And by the way, no, the pun from the first line wasn't intentional, LMAO. Thank you. And that's the end
You take
of
more
that
credit
story.
for that pun. Sometimes you accidentally, you wrote gold.
Mhm.
You didn't know it. But yeah, you know what? Honestly, it's all right. You being not together with her anymore, totally fine, dude. You made a good
Agreed.
call.
You did. You called it really quickly.
My girlfriend hit her ex at a party, then had me uninvited.
Collusion.
I was out with my girlfriend today visiting family for the weekends, and she brought up one of her mates' party we'd been invited to last month and was asking if I was still planning to come with her. I told her yes, and she proceeds to tell me, "You probably wouldn't want to." I prod as to why, and she states someone is going who she had slept with in the past.
Okay.
However, all communications with them has been stopped since. By the way, this comes from user Maximum Lavishness 39. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Keon.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments. As Opie says, I didn't really think anything of it. The past is the past, and what matters to me is what you do now. I say to her that it's fine, it doesn't bother me, and I'll still come with her. I then ask out of curiosity who the person is, just so I'm aware when we're there. However, this is what really alarmed me. She turns around and says, "I'm not telling you. It's not something you need to know."
That's
Then-
weird.
Then why did you bring it up?
That's weird. Why are we hiding that?
I argued with her, explaining that it's out of respect for me to know the person she slept with, as I'm going to be there with them. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I
Sorry.
think it's weird to not be like. I think it's weird to bring up that she slept with them and then not
bring
say
it
who
up.
it is.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Out of respect, you should,
Yeah.
just so you know, in a sense.
I don't know. I feel like with my boyfriend, I'm like, oh my God, I just saw that person. I just saw so-and-so. Every time that comes up.
Yeah, especially, I don't know, maybe she's friends with this
Yeah.
person. Who knows?
Yeah. Not even like in a way like, oh, I need to tell my boyfriend because of like,
Yeah, I have a history with him, and
Yeah.
you should cause problems.
yeah,
kind
it's
of
like,
thing.
no, it's just like, oh my God, you will not believe who I saw today.
Yeah. Despite this, she still refuses and proceeds to say, "Oh, whilst you're at it, do you want to have a timeline of everyone I've slept with, including their names?" I obviously say no, as that isn't what I was asking for in the slightest. A group chat had been made for everyone invited to this party, so I asked my girlfriend who it was in the group chat. She then tells me that person isn't on the group chat for whatever reason. At this point, I feel like she's lying through her teeth, to be blunt, and has something to hide. After that, I stopped pursuing it as my mom had made us dinner because we were visiting the weekend and went to go eat, where she proceeds to tell me she's poorly and doesn't want to eat. She wasn't poorly at all, and I felt very angry and disrespected that my mom had made the time to make us dinner and she wanted to lie about it. And after all that, my mom would not stop checking up to make sure she was okay. I didn't want to make my girlfriend feel out of place in my home, so I went with what she said. I come back upstairs and she's crying and calling me a psycho.
Why? Literally, why? Ugh, you're so annoying.
She created this whole thing.
Yeah.
She could just not told him.
Fast forward a few hours, she tells me her friend doesn't want me at this party anymore because I'm going to cause drama and it's her day, not mine. Which I turn around and say I never had a problem with the guy she slept with being there. I only had a problem with her hiding it, who it was. Surely, if a guy that you've been with before is there, you'd want me there to show off your boyfriend and not immediately try and get me not to come. The thing is, even if she's not done anything inherently wrong, why are you lying to me and hiding something from me? I've never asked who the people she slept with before are, but I thought as I would be meeting this person, it's appropriate? Something tells me they are in fact still talking, whether it's platonic or not, and she's been caught out in a lie and trying to gaslight her way out of it. I know it sounds like a pretty bone question, but would any of you feel as if you should break up as well? And there is an edit. What do you say?
I don't know if I'm jumping to break up quite yet, but I am having a serious conversation where I'm saying I don't understand why this blew out of proportion. You brought information to me and I asked you to clarify something. And instead you felt like it was better to just uninvite me to this party. And I'm feeling pretty uncomfortable with the situation now. And I feel like you haven't done anything to rectify that.
Thank you everyone for all the replies already, and I appreciate your honesty and support. For those calling me insecure and whatnot, we're both in the military, which in itself requires a lot of trust, especially after spending time away from each other, and the majority of her mates also being lads. Never been a problem for me, and never had any issues before until this point. I did also see one comment about me denying her food, which gave me a laugh, but sure. Anyway, I've never pried into her past before, and she has spoken about her past partners without me asking. It's never bothered me. However, I do believe it's basic respect to know who this person is that she has slept with, as she brought it up to avoid any awkwardness. I don't think a simple question is that much of an ask. If she had told me right then and there, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. For those of you talking about this friend of hers supporting her, some context on the kind of person she might be is useful. She also has a boyfriend, but had been deployed to Cyprus for a few months. Decided to break up with her boyfriend, slept with the whole island from what my girlfriend told me, then came back and got back with her boyfriend.
Kind of rude to say it like that.
And the boyfriend is still completely unaware of the truth, supposedly. To also clear up about the group chat. I hadn't put a message in the group chat itself. I just asked my girlfriend personally who the person was, as I assumed he'd been in there, due to it being made of people invited to this party. To which she answers that he's not in there for some reason. Whether or not she has done anything wrong in terms of her intentions, or if she's still communicating with this bloke, is beyond me. Withdrawing such a simple question after telling me someone's there she has slept with has put me way off and not something I want in a relationship. Anyway, sorry for the massive spiel. Again, I'm going to sleep on it, but I'm pretty sure I already know what I'm going to do. Cheers, guys. And we have some comments.
I feel like that sounds like Opie's good breakup.
I feel like you need to talk to her first.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's calling you a psycho,
Yeah.
making you uninvited to this party, brought it up and won't tell you who this guy is. Like, I don't know.
It just feels like OP made up his mind already. That's what it seems like.
It is a respect. I think it's a very big, mature thing to do it.
Yeah.
And it just sees where you are in your relationship. Comment 1 says, it's only been 5 months. Cut it off and move on. Comment number 2 says, I would definitely end it over this. This sounds very immature and she's clearly playing games here. You don't want that. Trust me. It sounds very sketchy that she not only had to tell you that it was someone she slept with, but also emphasize 2 things. She telling you that it would be better to not go, and her saying they stopped talking. That sounds like a big waving red flag. And we have an update. Let's get right into it.
Ooh, boy.
So, little update for those of you who care. It's time for us to head back from my family for the weekend, and I decided it wasn't the right time to do it at my house and alienate her despite everything that has happened. We're driving back, and we're nearly there, and I ask her on everything I raised to her before, to which she replies the same as before. Anyway, I eventually get to the point where I wanted to say I no longer want to be together with her. She's obviously quite angry at this point, but I drop her off and I go my own way. She then begins to message calling me every name under the sun and turning the failure of our relationship to my fault. At this point, she finally decides to tell me the name of this person, but at this point I tell her I'm no longer interested and that it's too late. She then replies to all this saying the only reason she didn't tell me was so I wouldn't spend all night staring at him and ruin our night.
You're just like presuming so much about OP and his behavior. And I feel like if you think that OP would ruin the night because of insecurity or whatever, then it says a lot about like what you think about the relationship.
So then you thought it would be fair to tell, hey, someone at this party, I slept with somebody at this party.
Yeah.
Let's see how that doesn't stress you out.
Yeah, literally.
Look at every single person at this party and guess. And I still won't tell you. But I have never given her a reason to think I would behave like this. After some back and forth, she eventually apologizes for what happened, as she says she only wanted us to have a good night. She also tells me she didn't tell her friend to uninvite me. Her friend did it off her own back because she was crying about the situation to her. At this point, she's groveling and begging for me to come back, as all she wants is me. It's been a lot harder for me to just forget about her, and I feel awful that she's hurt like this, especially knowing her mental health is in the gutter. But I think I know deep down it's what's right despite it all. I don't think I can have this reaction over something that could have been solved instantly, as in the future something more serious could happen, and the damage could be way worse. By the way, you know what isn't the worst thing you can do? Is listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to your favorite podcast apps such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and searching up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left here. Do you think breaking up like this was the right decision, Sophia?
Honestly, yeah. It just felt like she was blaming everything on him and unwilling to actually listen to his concerns. Yeah, I feel like at 5 months, it's not a great look.
I mean, especially if it was such an easy way
Yeah.
for her to say,
Could've just solved
I just
it.
wanted to have the fun night and all of
Yeah.
this, but she called you a psycho,
Yeah.
wouldn't tell you. How is it that
Yeah.
it was so hard for her? I don't understand.
Yeah.
We have a second update. I know I shouldn't have, and it was probably pretty hypocritical of me, but she asked to see me one last time to leave things on a better note, and I obliged, as we'd most likely see each other more than we would like. And I know I'm only young, but that was one of the hardest experiences of my life. That girl isn't a bad person. I just believe she's too immature, at least for me. I don't believe she did anything inherently malicious. However, the hiding and lying and the way she reacted to things was what pushed me away from future problems, unfortunately. And that's the end of that story.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it.
I will say, you play stupid games, you get stupid
Yeah.
prizes or outcomes.
Yeah.
And she wanted to play like a mental game with you,
Mhm.
I guess.
My girlfriend blamed me for her affair after I paid for it.
Well, it's your fault.
My girlfriend and I have been together for 11 years and have one beautiful child who is 7 years old, and she has another child who is 15 from a previous relationship. By the way, this comes from Throwaway 765123-8, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we met when I was 18, and I took on the responsibility of helping to bring up my stepdaughter as my own. Our relationship, like most, has gone through its ups and downs. I was young and had never been in a long-term relationship. I made mistakes. She made many more. However, for the last 5 years, I have been an honest, faithful, loving boyfriend. 2 years ago, I decided to be as selfless and loving as I could be to everyone around me. At the beginning of the year, I had something happen in my life which left me in a really dark place, severely depressed. In the beginning, she was there for me, and she was perfect. She made me a calendar to remind me every day how she felt for me, bought a couple of heartfelt things which helped me through the hardest times. I have not been myself for 10 months, and I have admittedly withdrawn, but it was in the darkest moments that I decided I wanted to spend the rest of my life with this girl, and I started to plan my proposal. My girlfriend was furloughed for most of the lockdown, but eventually found a new job where she seemed so much happier. At the start of October, I found that my girlfriend was pulling away. She no longer said she loved me, no longer hugged me or kissed me, and I started to have suspicions. I worked on myself and our relationship. She would hide her phone when I was around or quickly exit WhatsApp. However, at the end of October, she started going to the gym. One night, her class was not for hours, and she had already finished work. Her response was that she would wait outside until the class started. I called her after work, and she sounded like she was in the car. Her response was that she was working late at work and trying to get things finished up before heading to the gym. I turned Find My iPhone on to discover she was not where she said she was. She was outside another man's house.
She was probably still working out.
Yeah, getting that cardio in. I confronted her about this, and she lied, saying she was at work, and then switched to saying she was picking up a quick tea before class, until I eventually revealed that I knew exactly where she was because of the tracker. She blew up, saying that I invaded her privacy and that I was some freak for tracking her every move, and then eventually came out with the truth that yes, indeed, she was there to meet another man. She had been having an affair with a man at her new job. I asked her to come home to talk about it, but she refused and instead turned her phone off. Well, great. Okay, so now you're just full cheating. Cool. She had invited him into her car after our conversation, and they drove together to a local park and spent hours together. That's crazy.
They're probably on the swings.
That's crazy. To find out that your partner of 11 years knows and then to just continue.
Yeah, not even, you know what, not even the respect of,
Yeah.
let's talk about
That's
it.
immediate
And then
breakup.
just full send. Like, not even hide it anymore.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, he already knows, so meh. I went around to his house only to find that they were not there. His father opened the door, and when I explained the situation, his only response was, sound about right. He does this.
Even his dad's like, oh, yeah.
Yikes.
He's a dog.
Oh, you know my son. Oh, I know my son. He's always
Yeah.
getting up to no good.
Of course, I taught him those lessons.
Good on him.
That's my boy.
She drove to her mom's afterward, still texting him with kisses and apologizing that I went around to his house with emojis included. Eventually, we spoke, and she showed me what little texts she had not had chance to delete yet. He was laughing that I had almost found out about their affair a couple of days prior, when she thought I was going through her phone. I had not had a chance to do this yet. I contacted him and told him how he was hurting a 7-year-old girl, and he laughed at that and could only say, am doing nothing wrong, am a one-man band. We eventually agreed that she would block him from everywhere and discussed her leaving her new job to try and work on us. She opened up about other issues we were having, and one of those was money. She would never be open with me about what kind of position she was in financially. After 11 years, she wasn't open with you?
Also, we're still
Huge red
continuing this
flags.
relationship after
Yeah.
she not even 1 ounce of
Immediate
respect.
breakup. Immediate breakup. She had finally been honest and told me that she was $400 overdrawn and another $300 was due to come out. I was a sucker that fell for the fact that she was finally being honest with me, and I transferred her the $700.
OP.
A short while later, she blocked me on all outlets and unblocked him. I had asked her to get therapy, and she said she could not afford it. She used the $700 to book a hotel room with the man she had an affair with. That costs the same amount as therapy.
OP.
She said that the last 11 years have been so unhappy for her, then why didn't she leave? And that I did not love her enough or show her enough affection. That is not true. I am an affectionate person by nature and showed her love constantly. I have had 10 really dark months, but I was just starting to feel better about myself. She calls me with insults, refuses 50-50 custody. Well, she can't really refuse that. That's kind of a court thing. However, I had my daughter 5 out of 7 nights last week because she wanted to go see this man instead. I leave every conversation feeling like things were my fault, that I'm worthless, and that I should have done more this past year. She refused to sit down with the children to explain what's happening because it needed to be done with her present, so that she can console her children and not feel like she's abandoned them. However, because I have had my child almost every night, that is impossible. It's not fair on her. She's asking questions specifically about what cheating is. Rough.
That's crazy.
Oof. I also felt like, why should I have to feel like I have abandoned her? Why should we do it on her terms? I did not make these choices, she did. To top it all off, yesterday I found out that the man she has chosen has a problem with substances, to the point that he's not allowed to see his current children, and recently dumped his ex because he got her pregnant and she would like to keep their baby. Sorry if this is a lot or all over the place. My head is a mess at the moment. There is a lot more, but I think this is long enough. Does anyone have any advice? Yeah. Break up, full custody. Or break up, just go to court for custody. Common one. Go for full custody. Get a restraining order against your ex. She sounds harmful and is risking the health of your daughter by being with this guy. OP says the thing that's getting to me the most is that she believes without a shadow of a doubt that this was all my fault. And that she can keep believing that. It has no, bearing on the truth or how you should continue with your life, She says I'm a manipulator and a self-absorbed person and have been for years. That thank God she got out when she could. It's so hurtful to hear. I haven't manipulated her or mistreated her, but it's like she's invented a part of me that doesn't exist, claiming there was only unhappy times for the last 11 years. Comment says, this is not relevant. Hurtful for sure, but should not be what you are focusing on right now. While you are worried about optics, she's blowing up your life. Call a solicitor right now. Record everything about your childcare situation. Proof won't affect much, but it's good supporting information when it comes out to determining access and such. If she is stacking up with a regular user, inquire what you can do to keep your kid away. Right now, protect your kid and yourself. She'll believe whatever crap she wants to justify her actions. Don't get caught up in that torrent of nonsense. As hard as it is, pull yourself up and get it done. When you're safer, that's the time to let yourself feel what you need to. Honestly, a harsh comment, but yeah.
It's a hard truth.
It does not matter what she says, what she thinks. None of that matters. Get yourself and your kid out of there. OP says, thank you. I really needed to hear that. I'm worried about how this will affect our daughter over Christmas. If spending money on things like a lawyer or mediation is selfish, when I would be spending it on her presents. But you know what makes all Christmases better, even when you don't celebrate? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There are some more comments. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, stop making excuses for her. Start doing. Stop saying things.
Take action.
Stop going on Reddit. You got to start doing something to better your life and the life of your kids.
I want updates that say we're doing great. That's what I want.
I want to hear I'm done talking to her. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I'm done giving her money. I'm done giving her attention. I'm done with her.
Comment 3. Forgive me, but your relationship sounds like it was over before the affair started, but you stayed together for the kids, etc. Until there was a catalyst to end it. That's what this is, an exit affair. She's picked the scummiest affair partner possible and treated you so badly that you now have no choice but to break it off with her. She has gone full scorched earth. She's probably got no long-term plans with this guy as she knows he's vile, or will shortly find out. You can't come back from this. Notice she took your money and paid for the hotel. Affair partner didn't. He doesn't even have to pay for dates, etc. to have spicy sleep with her. Don't contact affair partner again. There's nothing but pain here. Contact your ex. only through lawyers or for child arrangements. Your priority right now is to seek legal advice for separation and how best to protect your kids whilst she's with him. She wants out, and you should too. Again, they're not married, so you don't have to worry about divorce and all that. Just child stuff. Common 4 says she cheated, and you shouldn't feel bad or guilty about anything. You did what you needed to as a man, father, boyfriend, and provider. It's time to show her what you're made of. You have a good case to get custody of the kids that she is abandoning for a substance user that can't be around his own kids. She can ruin her life, but don't allow her to ruin your kids' lives. And that's the end of the story.
Ain't that the hard truth?
That is just the hard truth.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I'm sorry, OP.
Yeah.
This
It
is
sucks.
this is a terrible situation. It does suck.
But there is a way out of it.
It is. Stop focusing on her. Stop focusing on the affair partner.
Yep.
Focus on you and the kids, the kid.
Yep.
Focus on yourself and get out of that situation.
My girlfriend controls every part of my life just because I forgot to text her.
That seems unreasonable.
My girlfriend, 47 female, and I, 34 male, are in a long-distance relationship where she's a couple hours away from me and can only really come visit me once a month for a couple days at a time. We met playing a game and we originally hit it off, and things were going really well. We've been together for almost 2 years now and spend literally every day together when we're not at work. By the way, this comes from you, throw RA6191514. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to OK Storyside subreddit. My name's Savannah,
I'm Dakota.
and we're here to give you some good advice, goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments. Over time, I've started seeing just how controlling and manipulative she can be. It started when I had an event for work that caused me to be in another city, about an hour and a half drive from me, for a couple of days. My work paid for a hotel and travel expenses, but when I told her about that upcoming event, I immediately noticed her mood change. She started acting very guarded and concerned, but wouldn't say what was eating at her. She would only respond with, "I hope you have fun." After some coaxing, I finally got it out of her that she was concerned I might go up there and meet someone else. She's been married twice before, and apparently both of her previous husbands had claimed they were going on business trips and ended up hooking up with people during that time. So I made the compromise that instead of staying in the hotel my work was paying for, I'd drive back home every night and then back up there in the morning since it wasn't a terribly long drive. She was still guarded, but that seemed to do the trick to calm her concerns. Over time, I've just noticed things that stood out to me as odd. I don't use any social media, but I do have accounts from when I was younger, such as Facebook and Instagram. One day, she got super aggressive with me out of nowhere and became extremely standoffish. After finally getting her to say more than one word to me, she told me she's always had self-esteem issues. That day, she decided to look through literally every inch of my social media accounts to see what I was following and who I was friends with. And she instantly felt like she wasn't meeting my standards because a few of the pages I followed were of the risque nature. I told her to make a list of the accounts that bothered her and I would unfollow them, but assured her that I don't even use those accounts anymore and I don't even think about looking at Instagram. So I don't even remember what I was following on there. She did, and I deleted them. And we moved on. There have been instances where I've wanted to go out with some coworkers for dinner or drinks. They've been few and far between, but I'm newer to the city I now live and work in, so I don't know anyone here outside of work. I figured it'd be a good opportunity to make some friends and get out and socialize. It's only been like 2 to 3 times that I went out with the guys from work, but every single time she basically interrogates me about it, asking where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing, who I'm going with, are there going to be any females with us, when I'm going to be home, etc. I answer every one of her questions, but things still obviously don't sit right with her. It's like she doesn't want me to have friends or anyone in my life other than her and my family.
Yeah. Ooh. That's the alarm siren going off, brother.
That wasn't me getting my tires changed.
Yeah, that's the 5-alarm bell.
Even though she says that she's fine with it, it's plainly obvious that that's not the case. So I go out with my coworkers, I have a few drinks and dinner, I text her throughout the night to give her updates on what I'm doing and when I'm going to be home so that she can be kept in the loop. She'll even go as far as to ask me to take a picture of me and my coworkers together as proof. When I get home, she continues with the interrogation, asking me for very specific details on everything that I did, like she's trying to catch me in a lie or something. She's become extremely controlling over so many aspects of my life, and I've let her do it. She basically controls what I do when I get off work or on the weekends, because pretty much from the moment I get home until bedtime, we're in Discord together playing games or watching a movie. Overnight, she insists that we stay in Discord while we're sleeping so that she can hear me sleeping if she wakes up. The latest incident that was finally the straw that broke the camel's back was this last Friday. I got invited to go out with some coworkers for drinks. We were celebrating a couple people's recent promotions at work. So I told her I was going to be going out with some coworkers for drinks and I would let her know when I'd be going home. We went through the same routine, her grilling me on every minute detail of the plan, etc. Now, I go out with these guys and we go to the bar as planned, but we decide to go to another bar instead of calling it a night. So I tell her that I'm going to stay out later than I originally planned and that I would let her know when I'm home and whatnot. And she just responds with "okay" and leaves it at that. Unfortunately, I ended up having way too much to drink and had to Uber home. When I got home, it was all I could do to stumble into my place, and I passed out before I even hit the bed. I woke up around 7 a.m. and realized I never told her I got home. I immediately texted her and apologized and explained what happened. She immediately FaceTimed me and asked me to show her my room. I'm assuming to make sure I'm telling the truth about being home and to make sure nobody was with me. She proceeded to absolutely break down crying and started telling me that she didn't sleep at all that night because she started thinking that I was secretly out with another girl. She started saying things like, "You made me like this. You did this to me. I hope you had fun and it was worth making me feel this way." Things like that. I get it that I messed up and I drank too much and I didn't let her know. That's absolutely on me. But the way she was saying things made it sound like I did all of this on purpose to hurt her. She then proceeded to say stuff along the lines of, "You can never do this to me again. I don't want you to go out with your coworkers anymore." To which I really didn't even have a response. I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm at my wit's end. She has so many other controlling characteristics that just don't sit right with me, but I let her do them anyway. It seems like she's always complaining about someone or something, whether it be someone at work being an a-hole to her, or her mom, or her kids, or the drivers on the road. She always gotta complain about someone else. She's always the victim in every situation she's in, and she never owns up to being the cause of anything negative in her life. If I'm having a bad day from work, she's having a worse day. If I have something good happen, such as my recent promotion, then she had a fight with her mom or something. I'll try and talk about something good and she insists on bringing up something negative instead. By the way, something that's not negative, you can listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Story Time.
Who you gonna break up with her, please? Please break up with her now.
Break up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Break up.
Maybe next time, like, don't put up with this for so long.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to go through it to learn.
Yeah, it's true. Now you know. You better know and don't let it happen again.
I'm a generally pretty positive guy. I like to see the good in situations and I don't like to dwell on something bad that happened. But she insists on only seeing the bad. Those kinds of things hold permanent residency in her mind, and she refuses to let things go even when it doesn't pertain to her. How do I finally get out of this controlling relationship? I feel like she gaslights me into making her past trauma be my fault, and she insists on trying to bring my mood down when all I do is try to be kind and caring to her.
Okay, buddy, we got some comments coming up.
Comments! Comment 1. End it. She needs her past issues addressed. She can't do right by anyone until she does right to herself. OP. I've told her that she should talk to a counselor or therapist before to address those issues because I know that is the best way for her to get over that past trauma. But it's like it goes in one ear and out the other, and she refuses to get professional help. So I've stopped mentioning it because all it does is start a fight. Comment 2. Break up over phone call or video chat. Don't go see her in person. Make the conversation short and to the point. It's not working out between us. We're not compatible. I'm breaking up with you. Do not contact me again. That's it. No need to explain why. She'll probably cry, beg you, guilt trip you, or threaten to unalive herself. It will be messy, but you will need to stay firm in your decision and don't fall for her manipulations. Hang up on her when she starts spiraling. Remember, you are not responsible for her emotions or how she's going to react to the breakup. Put her belongings in a box outside of your home and text her where they are. Do not meet her in person. Delete and block her number after that. I mean, honestly,
I don't know if there are any belongings in his home.
That's
of hers.
true. She might start to stalk you, so protect yourself.
She might. She sounds a little cuckoo.
Change your locks if she has keys to your place. Put up security cameras. Be sure to tell your friends and family what happened so that they know to be on the lookout for her. Good luck and stay strong. OP, thank you. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head with feeling responsible for her emotions. It's felt like that's been the case for a while now. Like, if I'm not actively doing everything I can to make her happy, it's not good enough for her. It's been so hard trying to keep up with her mood swings when it comes to that, because she'll say that I'm not making her feel important enough when I quite literally spend every moment I'm not at work with her. And even when I'm at work, she's all but insisted that I call her on my breaks, so I don't even get the opportunity to chat with coworkers during those times. I don't think she'll go to the lengths of stalking me or threatening anything, but I fully believe she'll try to guilt trip me and whatnot, because that seems like her go-to whenever things don't go exactly how she wants them to go. But I'll definitely take your advice on telling my friends and family about it in case she messages them or something. My family lives in a completely different state, so I don't think they'll have to worry about anything other than a message or something. I'll be honest, I should have ended things a long time ago, but anytime I started to get that feeling of needing to do so, she ends up playing the whole wounded bird scenario, and playing on my empathy, I end up staying instead because I feel the need to fix things. I get it. I'm the same way, OP.
Yeah, don't do that. My girlfriend hugs her friend like a lover, but she swears it's cultural.
Then maybe it is.
Hi there, I, 30 male, have been dating a Colombian woman, 30 female, for over a year. She is from a small town in Antioquia. We met in the U.S. through a shared profession, and I wanted to ask some folks about what your friendships look like. By the way, this comes from user Vivid Angle, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. And OP says, we have a great connection, and I have a lot of respect for her, but sometimes I feel jealous or distrustful towards the way she interacts with her male friends. I have never dealt with this in a relationship, but then again, I have never dated someone from outside the U.S., so I'm not certain what to expect. She's a runner, and she said she was running multiple times with a friend. After asking who, she mentioned a guy that she had talked about before. She is on Strava, and I saw her post some photos with him. I thought I'd check his page out again. I had looked at it before after seeing a lot of joking between them on some posts that I was also in. My initial vibes from this guy were super cool, but the second time, I could not see his page, and I felt a little weird about her just saying friend instead of specifying who. I asked my girlfriend about this, and she just said maybe he changed his privacy settings. Well, tonight, a few days later, I got on Strava using another email account and could see his profile just fine. So I wonder if he blocked me on my initial account. Her posts with him are just of them running together, but when I looked at his profile, I saw a picture of them hugging quite intimately. Like one where the guy has his hand pretty low on my girlfriend's lower back while they hugged full body to body in running clothes. Another one had his hand on her leg while she was hugging him from behind. And another where their cheeks were pressed together. Is this normal friend behavior in Colombia? This is not normal in my culture, but I also feel ashamed for snooping around. Friendships and platonic affection are normal, but I just don't feel comfortable seeing her so intimately with other men when our presence on her Strava is just minimal. Maybe this is not reasonable. You tell me. I want to raise this to my girlfriend, but we don't have the best history with this type of thing. And I feel like it says a lot when I went to these lengths to surveil her activity, which I have never done in a relationship before. I would appreciate your feedback. Should I be embarrassed for checking her socials like this, or am I justified in feeling upset? Do I hang up the towel because it seems like dishonesty from her, or is there some gray area I'm missing? And there are some comments. Comment 1 says, sounds like he likes her, and it's unclear if she likes him back, but she probably knows he likes her a lot. That's likely why she called him a friend instead of by name. Maybe she's keeping her options open, or maybe his interest has recently increased and she isn't sure what to do about it. Sometimes women think they manage the friend that's in love and still hang on to their boyfriends. But that's not very fair to anyone, including that guy. I think you should talk to her and tell her you feel uncomfortable about their relationship because he blocked you and the photo. Ask her if she feels comfortable, and if the roles were reversed, knowing what she knows about this guy, would she want you doing the same thing? Maybe these questions will help get to the bottom of it. If you still don't feel comfortable after the talk, I would break up with her. Don't waste your time on people who aren't sensitive enough to know this is concerning and hurts your feelings. I don't think you did anything wrong with your internet sleuthing. You just want the truth, and there are some big red flags on the field. If he didn't block you, the cultural excuse for the friendly photo could make sense, but he's hiding it specifically from you, and that is super weird. Another comment says, her hugs might just be cultural. It's normal to feel uneasy, but snooping isn't great. Best to calmly talk about boundaries, which he said that when they have these conversations in the past, they have not gone well, which is sort of a bit of a warning sign to me.
Yeah.
Comment 3 says, I basically have been married to a Colombian for like 19 years. I also have a jealous heart and have caused many arguments because of it. Then realized I love my husband because he's friendly and sweet and pleasant to people. And I was virtually getting mad at him for that, so I just had to let those feelings go. This girl picked you, and I know that seems like a little excuse, but if you think about it, she was friends with them way before you, and she picked you. So maybe you could just love and respect that about her. OP says, did you ever have a talk about physical boundaries with your husband? My thing is that I would want to be clued in if somebody else is trying to talk with her romantically, but I'm not certain I trust that she would tell me. Reply says, people like freedom, but they also want to be reasonable, and Colombians are really no different. I don't believe I had so much a boundary conversation with him. I think I felt that that would put limitations on them, and I didn't want him to feel like he was in prison, because he's not. He's in a relationship, and I wanted him to love and trust and honor me, and I want to do the same for him. And so I never really had a boundary conversation, and there's an update, so that was bad.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I just screwed it, accept that. I never had a conversation about how I felt about it.
You have to, if you're uncomfortable with something, you can't just like resent it. You gotta say, hey, I didn't like that. When you did that, I didn't like that. Because otherwise, they're gonna keep doing it. Because they don't know. They're not mind readers.
That commenter is like, I don't really resent it. I just accepted it and never spoke up about it.
It's a terrible way to go about that. Truly, truly the worst way to go about that.
Okay, we do have an update, though. I like to give updates to these posts for people who may benefit from knowing how another Redditor dealt with a real-life situation. I can give more information if helpful, but to keep it short and sweet, we talked. And I was very honest with her about the way it made me feel. I actually raised the whole getting blocked thing last week, but didn't open this conversation fully, and she agreed that it was weird, and the photos were a bit much. The longer I sat on it, the less comfortable I became, so we talked last night at length. She respected my feelings and felt really horrible for the situation, although she maintained that her interactions with this guy were platonic. She said even her family has commented on the intimacy and affection she shows other people, guys and girls, but that if different boundaries were needed, she respects that. My biggest insecurity dealt with the lack of transparency about this person, and she understood deeply and expressed a lot of remorse. She actually called this friend after I raised getting blocked last week and asked him about it, and he dodged the answer. I was frustrated that she didn't loop me into that conversation after it happened. I still don't understand why I didn't deserve more defense in that situation. Also, there was another guy that I met while in Colombia with my girlfriend, a German dude like 15 years older than her, that she has always talked about as a good and trustworthy friend that she met like 10 years ago and kept in touch with. Last night, she told me that a few days after we had all gone to dinner, he had made an inappropriate comment to her along the lines of, I can take care of you still if you want. She said she thought it was disrespectful, but she forgot about it and never mentioned it to me as we were going through our own issues. Fair enough, but it was super sensitive in light of everything else. It became clear to me, very clear, that clear and proactive boundaries and transparency were a deal breaker for me. We talked about why transparency is important, and she saw my point on everything. She's going to have clear boundaries with her runner friend. She may talk with him about it directly. We are not out of the water yet. I'm going to judge her actions in the near and mid future and see how much she chooses to share with me. She's punishing herself a lot right now and feeling really low, which is hard for me because this is just a functional dynamic that needs to be understood and corrected. But I do understand that she feels inadequate.
Yeah, it seems like the conversation's going well, but it does seem like you're learning a lot of stuff that she hid from you, or at least didn't tell you. But I don't think it's like end of relationship. It's just like, hey, we need to have more conversations like this in the future.
Yes, I do believe.
I do
right
declare.
Now, it's, she's willing to work on it and sees the problem. But I think it's smart to be like, I'm going to be really looking at her actions in the near future.
Yeah. But that's the end of that story and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
see you tomorrow.
My girlfriend prohibited me from buying a house with the money I religiously saved.
Maybe she's trying to buy you a house.
I, 29 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 25 female, for a little over a year. I don't live with her. She doesn't work because she doesn't want to and relies on her parents. Things are mostly okay, but we're hitting a big disagreement that I can't shake. By the way, this comes from New Brick 1. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comment. And OP says, I've been saving aggressively for a while, and I'm finally in a position where I could buy a small house or townhouse on my own. Down payment is mine, mortgage would be in my name, and I'd be fully responsible for it. When I told my girlfriend, she immediately shut it down.
What?
She says it's a huge life decision that affects both of us and that I shouldn't do it unless we're married or buying together. She also said it would make her feel like she has no say in our future and that it puts pressure on her to move in on my terms. From my side, I'm not asking her to pay anything. I'm not forcing her to move in. I see it as a smart financial move and something that I've worked hard for. I don't want to keep renting just because I'm in a relationship that may or may not last forever. I also don't like the idea of delaying my goals, waiting for someday. Now it's turned into arguments where she says I'm being selfish and acting single, and I feel like she's trying to control what I do with my own money. I get that it impacts the relationship, but I don't think that means that I need permission to buy property I can afford.
She's afraid that you're going to ask her to be his wife and you're not ready to settle down yet. I'm getting that vibe.
And that, like, she's not ready to settle down? I guess, yeah. She's probably thinking that, like, because she doesn't have her own money, then she's gonna have to move into wherever he is eventually. And she's like, whoa, I'm not ready for that. It's like, well, good thing it's not happening. Because it's a smart investment to have a house. Then he could sell the house and possibly get something that you both like.
Yeah.
This, like, does not affect the relationship right now. It's crazy. OP says, what do I do? And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, things are mostly okay. I don't make big life decisions with someone who I view in that way. Might be time to move on. It's only been a year. Comment 2 says, yes, if that's the way OP describes the relationship, kind of tells us everything. Get the house. You can always sell it and move into a different home if the relationship goes somewhere. OP3 says, nope. Comment 3 says, good for you for saving for a house. Buy the house. Super weird that she can't be happy for you. OP says, I'm so excited for buying. I've been waiting for this moment. I'm also weirded out by it as well. She seems so mad at me. Comment number 4 says, she wants you to wait until you're married so she can have partial claim or something. That's just my guess. Another response says, mostly like this. I don't know where you live, OP, but in many countries, the standard asset structure for marriages is that you share 50-50 of everything that you acquire during the marriage, but each spouse would keep 100% of what they bought or brought into the marriage, like your house, in case of divorce. Maybe she wants claim to half of your house if you ever get married, then divorced. And there is an update, but that would be crazy if that's her mindset. She's like, I'm already planning getting divorced from you in the future, so I don't want you to have the house. Like, what? That might not be it, but...
This is very weird. That could be a play.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time thinking of an assumption or like something that could actually be happening.
Yeah, like an explanation for this.
I don't have one. I just don't think she's ready to settle. That's my only thing.
I think it's very possible. I think she's probably scared for her future and maybe threatened by how successful OP is. And she's like already put herself, since she doesn't want to work, she's like already putting herself in the position of like a stay-at-home mom or something, and thinking like, well, when I am there, like, even though you make the money, like, you're still gonna have to consult with me on these decisions, and you're not showing me that that's what you're gonna do. It's like, girl, you're 25 and you're choosing not to have a job because you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's such a red flag. Such a red flag. Because then if you're living off your parents, you're gonna expect to live off of me. But we have an update here. I spent a long time reading through the responses and honestly just got overwhelmed. At some point, it hit me that this isn't just about a house. This is a much deeper issue than I wanted to admit. I didn't sleep at all last night. I kept replaying everything and realizing how foolish I've been in this relationship. Around the middle of the night, I had a full panic attack and ended up driving to my parents' house. I woke them up and told them everything. They didn't even know most of this was going on. They've always seen me as independent and assumed I had things under control. Clearly, I didn't. I had to admit some hard truths to myself. I don't really have friends. I was naive, depressed, and had low self-esteem. I met the first woman at a local bar who showed me affection, and I clung to that, thinking that that was just how relationships worked. Deep down, the reason I was so unsure about everything is because of her lack of ambition and drive. And I hate to admit this, but I'm also at fault because I tolerated it. I spent money I shouldn't have. I indirectly encouraged behavior I wasn't okay with. A lot of you basically gave the wake-up call that I needed. I've never really dated before. I kept my head down, got my computer science degree, landed a high-paying job, and just kept grinding. The cost of that was my social skills and emotional awareness. That pain built up quietly, and whenever it surfaced, my go-to solution was calling her over so it would temporarily go away. It's obviously not a long-term solution. And what would be a long-term solution is listening to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and searching OK Storytime. You can have long-term solutions to whatever your problem may be.
Yeah, you can.
But there is more to
solved
this
those.
story. We sure did.
Glad you're having this kind of reflection.
Yes.
Smart. It's needed.
Yes.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. And I mean, you're definitely not alone in like having your first relationship, accepting bad things for how they are because you think that's just how it's done, and then learning from it. Like the biggest thing is that you're learning from it. That's awesome. So I'm proud of you.
You gotta do the friend method. If you're having, this is how relationships should work. Would you want your friend to go through that? Would
Yeah.
you say something if your friend went through that?
Yeah.
Say something to yourself if that's what you're going through.
Right. Absolutely. I did try therapy before, but I didn't feel comfortable with my therapist, and I ended up dropping it. After last night, I realized that I need to try again with someone else. I called her in the late morning and asked her to come to my apartment tomorrow. Actually, meeting at a public place like a park might be a better idea. I'll change my plans for an important discussion. I'm going to break up with her tomorrow. I need today to calm down, collect my thoughts, and stop spiraling. I'm still moving forward with buying my house soon. This whole thing hurts, but I feel like I'm finally choosing myself instead of avoiding discomfort. There are some comments. Comment 1 says, OP, I'm so glad for you. It's painful, but necessary. Dating someone who doesn't have the same values and goals, or heck, any goals, will never work. Leave this relationship and then work on your relationship with yourself. Become your own best friend. Make plans, execute goals, hit the gym, and do some wellness stuff. Dating will come. And you'll meet someone fantastic as you learn to treat yourself either way. And you'll meet someone fantastic as you learn to treat yourself better, which is the way or with the love that you've been giving someone ungrateful. And that is the end. Oh, wait, no. One more comment. Comment 2 says that girl's parents have failed and still are failing her. She is an adult now, so she is to blame for her decision. Good decision to move forward and break up with her. Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely using you.
She was. And she was being so weird about everything.
Yeah, very much. Like, the fact that she's just planning to, like, mooch off of you when that hasn't even happened yet. You haven't even asked her to move in. It might not happen. It was kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She was like, I need to be able to make these decisions so that he doesn't break up with me. And then in that, she gave him a reason to break up with her.
You guys got broken up. Yep. I think you did the right choice, OP.
I hosted Christmas for my boyfriend's family, and I regret it.
No Christmas ever again.
I, 36 female, have tried so hard to give my boyfriend's 40 son and his girlfriend the benefit of the doubt because they're young. I've ignored rude moments, brushed off entitlement, and told myself I'm being too sensitive. I've made excuses for behavior I would never tolerate from anyone else, mainly to keep the peace and not create issues between my boyfriend and his son. By the way, this comes from Excellent Second 643, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Carly.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for Christmas, they drove in to visit us. My boyfriend paid for their hotel. I spent days planning, grocery shopping, cooking, and stressing because we normally don't host the holidays. But I wanted everything to be nice and welcoming. I cooked way more than necessary so no one would go hungry and so we could all just relax. They arrived Friday night around 8:45, and the very first thing out of their mouths was that they weren't hungry because they had already eaten at her parents' house and his mom's house. After everything I cooked, that honestly annoyed me, but I understood. The next day, they came over, ate dinner with us, and watched movies. It was fine, nothing warm, nothing rude, just very take what's offered and move on. As they were leaving, the girlfriend casually suggests that we all go out to lunch the next day before they head home. That irritated me immediately because our fridge was packed with food I had cooked. But again, I didn't say a word. I didn't want to come off as difficult or cause tension. Saturday comes, and sure enough, we all meet at the restaurant. Predictably, they didn't have money. No heads up. No, we can't really afford it. No offer to help, just the quiet assumption that we'd be paying. Between the hotel, the food, and now lunch out, it felt incredibly entitled and frankly annoying. But again, I kept quiet. My boyfriend was late because he was helping a friend with a car issue. So it was just me, my kids, and them at the table. Everyone's eating when a young girl, maybe 10 or 11, comes around selling candy to raise money for her soccer dues. She's polite, confident, and clearly nervous, but trying. I respect that. I gave her $20 without thinking twice. She handed me 4 bags of candy, thanked us, and walked away smiling. That should have been the end of it.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Because we named a lot of things that are happening that are
Yes.
like irritating OP.
Yes.
I'm forgetting the first one right now. The one that's in my head, though, is that they're assuming that you're going to pay.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of normal.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like,
And
you're
when you
assuming
then-
your parents gonna pay. Yeah.
Yeah, I still assume that my parents are paying for
Yeah.
lunch. Like, and presumably they're even younger than us because
Yeah.
your boyfriend's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, do they even have jobs?
I think they're like at most in college.
Right. Yeah, normally the parents
I
still
think
pay.
it's pretty normal.
And then to whip out a 20 after being like, oh my God, and they're not paying, and you whip out a 20 and just give it to this candy girl.
yeah.
It sounds like you're perfectly fine paying too.
Yeah. I don't know.
What was the thing right before that though?
like that they didn't eat dinner. They refused to eat the dinner that OP made,
Right.
which is fair. I think that's, a fair gripe.
totally fair one.
And then they were like, well, let's go out the next day.
Yeah. And then you said, and I didn't say anything.
Yeah. I feel like you could have just been like, hey, like, I actually have food here.
We have a lot of food. Let's reheat it. Let's make something new, like
Yeah.
with the food. Yeah.
I think we just had to bring it up. Instead, the girlfriend looks at me, laughs, and says, you're a way better person than me. If she had come to me, I wouldn't have even looked at her or spoken to her. I would have just kept eating until she walked away.
That's mean.
That's rude.
That's
Yeah.
just completely mean.
That's just
And
rude.
we can check her in that moment. Or her
I'd be
dad
like,
should
oh. I was stunned, not awkward silence, stunned, disgusted stunned. My 16-year-old daughter was sitting right there and had the exact same shocked expression I did. I felt embarrassed that my child had to hear an adult say something so cruel and dismissive out loud. I looked her in the face and said, yes, I am. Because I absolutely meant it. I am better than ignoring a child trying to earn her way. I am better than pretending someone doesn't exist, and I'm not ashamed of that. She didn't even catch the meaning. She just laughed like it was cute or funny. What made this so upsetting wasn't just the comment, it was the ease with which she said it. No empathy, no self-awareness, no shame, and she felt comfortable saying it at a table with children during Christmas, after being housed, fed, and paid for all weekend. When we got home, I told my boyfriend exactly what happened. I told him how angry and disgusted I was, how inappropriate it was, and how I don't want my kids around that kind of attitude. He understood why I was upset, but told me basically to just let it go. I agree. She's like, told what? A 20-year-old girl who your, stepson is dating?
Yeah, I do have a feeling that stepson may realize soon and probably just solve that problem for you.
Yeah. I know like tons of parents who don't like their kids' partners and they think
Especially
they're
their
rude or
ones
whatever.
at 19 or 20.
You know what usually gets them to leave? Not telling your child to do it.
No.
That doesn't work.
No. Especially your stepchild, too.
Yeah. He told me we couldn't control her attitude or how she was raised. He said they were young and had different mindsets. I agree. If she sucks and she's like a brat, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. That's like a full nother step away from any relationship with you.
Yeah. I feel annoyed that I tried so hard. I feel disgusted by the entitlement and lack of basic human decency. And I feel foolish for continuing to excuse behavior because someone is young. More so, not excuse behavior, but just like ignore behavior that you can't control.
Right. Like, you didn't ignore her completely. You called her out for it.
Yeah. That's all you can do. She's not your daughter. She's not even like someone you're related to, and like she's your stepson's girlfriend.
Your adult stepson's girlfriend too.
There's not much you can do there. Being young doesn't excuse being unkind. I agree. However, again, you can't control this young woman. Am I overreacting for feeling completely fed up and ready to stop trying with them after this? Common One says, was there communication about food being made? Don't eat, we're making food. Was there a comment of, oh, we have food here, so we don't need to go out? Was there any kind of mature adulting here? Are you trying to keep the peace to keep your boyfriend? Keeping the peace is just code for walking on eggshells so someone doesn't tantrum no matter their age. If you won't tolerate the behavior, don't tolerate it. Subjective boundaries only cause this kind of outcome. Comment 2 says, one thing I've learned as I've got older, I'm 40 now, a lot of 20-somethings, especially young 20-somethings, are not adults. I agree. When OP said, I can't believe an adult would say that in front of my child, like, she's not an adult.
No.
She's what, maybe 19?
Teen.
They just think they are, which in a lot of ways makes them more insufferable than teenagers. Another comment says, I look back on some of the things I did and said in my 20s, and I'm mortified. I had no idea what a butt I made of myself on several occasions. And those are just the moments I remember. Reply to the comment, I always have to remind myself that the shame I feel for how I acted when I was younger is a privilege, because that's a sign of growth. But even then, shoo, I cringe when I get intrusive memories about how my big-headed self was back then. By the way, I hope you guys remember to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is an update, but any final thoughts?
I agree with those comments.
Me too.
She's just a crappy 20-year-old
Yeah.
who either she'll learn and become better soon, or your stepson will be like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, she sucks. Genuinely, I don't think we can crash out this hard over a 19, 20-year-old.
And I think we can make guiding comments, even if they're going to upset her. Who cares?
Who cares? Call them out.
Yeah.
But don't hold it all in. Update. I did not plan this with them. This was discussed among themselves and my boyfriend. I was simply told they would be coming and then given a list of dishes they liked and told we needed to cook it. I did not do 100% of the cooking. I would say it was a 60-40 split between my boyfriend and I. He did most of the prepping, but overall 60-40 split. I don't know.
Yeah, crappy girlfriend.
Yeah, she just sucks.
Yeah.
And you can, like the best thing, you just go and complain about her to your boyfriend. You're like, oh my God, she's the worst, right?
Maybe
She,
your
like,
boyfriend
sucks.
can get more on board with complain train.
Yeah, and then we don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
My date refused to let me visit their house, and it made me suspicious.
Ooh, I'm suspicious.
I, 22 female, have been seeing this guy, 23 male, for 5 months now. He's one of the kindest, most handsome, and most intelligent men I've met, and I've had a great time with him so far. We started kind of casually since I didn't talk to him about intentions early on, which I usually do, but it got consistently more serious. He would bring me food before work, we started texting and calling more frequently, and the feelings got stronger overall. By the way, this comes from user FrontAstronomer7581, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't always have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. After about 3.5 months, I asked him what he wanted out of this because it was starting to feel like we were just going to be stuck in a situationship. I told him that I really liked him, but that if he wasn't wanting something more serious, I didn't want to keep wasting my time or his. He told me that he does want that with me and that he already considers us together. Now he tells me that he's going to ask me to be his girlfriend. But for me, I don't know why he's waiting. And when I asked what would happen if I asked him, he kind of laughed it off. My main issue is that he refuses to let me come to his house or go to his work for lunch. I can understand the work thing since I used to work at Amazon and understand the security issue of it all, but his house? He's been over to my house a couple times, and at this point, I think I would have been able to go to his. I've brought this up to him a few times, and each time he has a different excuse. The most recent was that he kept the dog he had with his ex. According to him, this dog can't leave his room because it doesn't get along with the other dogs in the house, and because he keeps that dog in his room, I can't come over. I'm just getting a weird vibe, especially since he would rather meet later in the day and sit in his car than have me at home. All of this to say, I'm wondering what to do. I mostly wonder if telling him, if you can't take me to your house, I think we shouldn't keep seeing each other, is worth it, or if I should just go. I'd like to make it work with him because I really do love him, but I can't get over the feeling that he's keeping something hidden. Comment 1 says, people are jumping to conclusions that he's cheating and you're the other woman. That seems hasty. Maybe he has like 200 piss bottles sitting next to his desk. Comment 2, so in 5 months, he's been to your place only twice and you've never gone to his place. So you've been alone in private only 2 times. This sounds like one of the most chaste flings imaginable. How long is he going to keep his ex's dog, since according to him, that second dog is the only obstacle to you getting together at his place? There are as many red flags in this relationship as there are in this post itself. I'm dubious, but if this post is for real, then he's lying about something, or is just a weirdo, or both, and you should scram. OP says, yeah, I know, it's a pretty odd situation for sure. That's why I put it here. I've never posted anything, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just jumping to conclusions and was looking for insight. Like if anyone's been in a similar situation or just gaining an unclouded perspective. Definitely going to talk to him one more time, and if nothing changes, I'll call it. Reply says, tell him you can't be in a relationship with someone who isn't available. If he ever reaches a situation where he can invite you over and you're still single, to contact you. No, just leave him.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, people, you could just leave this man and move on with your life.
I feel like people, like, especially like women, are like really nice, like when they first start out, because it's like, ooh, boys like me. And then it's like, oh my gosh, now I need to be really overcompensating, like, to make sure that he knows that, like, I can provide and I can take care of him and I can do this. And motherly instincts, other instincts.
Yeah, you're dating a piss bottle freak who won't let you in his house. But then block him for a good long while. For whatever reason, he isn't available. If he's trying to cheat on a girlfriend or wife, I'd say never be in contact again. Have you done a Google search to see who else is connected to his name and address?
Whoa! I feel like
These people are freaks. OP replies, yes, I have Googled. But he isn't on anything like at all. He's got a pretty unique name, but literally the only thing I could find is his address and whose name is on the house. So just him and his mom. Update. I, 22 female, just met up with the guy I've been seeing, 23 male. Thank you everyone for your recommendations in the original post. I think it's worth mentioning that he does live with his mom, and he's been open about that from the start. I took someone's advice from this last post and looked him up on Google. It's his name and his mom's name on the house. I brought up the house again and told him that I wasn't trying to sound accusatory, but the reasons he's giving me for why I can't come to his house seem a little off. I asked more about the dog in his room and why he couldn't let him run around in his backyard for a little bit while I came in. He said he doesn't like the backyard and that the dog would claw his way back into the house. I asked about the other dog that doesn't get along with the first one, and he said she's aggressive and he doesn't know how she would handle me. I asked again why she couldn't just chill in the backyard while I came in, but he had no answer. He then told me that he and his mom have had a series of targeted break-ins since he was in high school, and he doesn't want me going to his house because he doesn't want something to happen while I'm there. I can understand that, which you shouldn't.
No, what?
But,
understand what? Which part of it?
God,
None of it I understand.
But he had someone living at the house before, so why was there no concern for her safety? He said he doesn't like to be at home and doesn't want to bring me into an environment that he himself isn't comfortable in. I asked if his mom would be a concern. He told me before that she would love me and is accepting, but I was trying to get to the bottom of it. He said she would have to meet me before I just came over and went to his room. I told him I was never trying to just go to his room. Even stopping by and coming in for a second would have been more than fine. I feel like I'm being kept from something or that he's hiding something. I asked if he doesn't see this relationship as serious enough to meet his mom, which I would understand, but he said no. He loves me, and maybe I don't feel the same way, but he's really genuine in his feelings for me. And by the way, I'm genuine in saying that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you've got the entire archive. There's a little bit more story here. Girl, I swear. Girl, leave this man. He is hiding something from you. And if he's willing to go to this extent to just like blatantly like lie or like keep something from you, you should not stay with him, because guess what? He's probably lying about his feelings for you.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like in this type of situationship question mark.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like you don't owe him anything. And if he's being weird, why would you want to like, and why would you want to stay if one, you're not even, like you don't have to stay with him, right? Like there's no like obligation.
No.
So I just don't understand. Like, I feel like, there's just some weird suspicious red flags. And I would just kind of, be weary. But, I mean, I also get it because I will literally, like, come up with any excuse. But that's bad, and don't do that.
Yes. From the horse's mouth. Do not do this. He asked me to be his girlfriend, and I told him yes. But I can't be in a relationship with someone who seems like they have something to hide. He said that once the dog is gone, I can come over, but I don't know.
I'm not so sure, though.
Once
Maybe.
the dog is gone, who is at his house? He has a wife.
Who
His
is he keeping in the basement?
Someone is in that house that he cannot let you see. I feel bad doubting him after he told me about the break-ins. But still, if someone else lived there before, why can't I stop by for a couple of minutes? That's all you're asking for, is to just pop in 5 minutes, meet his mom, leave. And he's like, the burglars. No, the burglars, you can't.
Burglars are coming. The dogs don't like you.
And
everything's going to blow up.
It's not safe. My dog hates the outdoors. My other dog will eat you alive, and I'm uncomfortable in the house, and the burglars will find you. This guy's crazy. I don't know if I should take this as an elaborate excuse or have more understanding, because it sounds like a complicated situation. I don't want to brush off his experiences. I'll do one more update if I get solid proof of something, but otherwise, I'll probably end it with him. Thank God.
Good.
If it's something I can't get over and he won't let me come over, that's probably the only option. And we've got some comments from a male. Comment 1. This is nuts.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not just the female brain, it's also the male brain.
This is as also a male, this is insanity. Something is seriously wrong with this situation. His reasons are nonsense, and his constant excuses are beyond ridiculous.
It's true.
The red flags couldn't be any bigger or redder. Move on, please, for your sake. Comment 2 says there's definitely something going on here. You should never have agreed to be their girlfriend without them showing action and not just words. It sounds like he's talking about rehoming one of the dogs, so what's the timeline on that? What's going to happen if he doesn't live up to that and allowing you at the house? There could be a lot of things going on. He could be dating someone else. He could be a hoarder. He could be lying about a substance habit and doesn't want you to see the way he lives. Ultimately, do you really want to be with a partner that is acting this way? Honestly, since you already agreed to be their girlfriend, which I think is a bad idea, I would talk to them about a timeline of when they're getting the dog rehomed and see if they stick to that timeline. It shouldn't be a very long timeline, like a week, for instance. And if the dog is still there and nothing has changed, break up with them because they're not going to change. Break up with him anyway, because this is a giant walking, the biggest, reddest flag. It's the size of the moon. If the moon was red, that is this guy. Get out of here. That is the end of that story.